Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. I apologize for the late show tonight. I zigged when I should have zagged. I had a lot of things to do today in around the house and reality land, I suppose. So conspiracy land today had to wait. I have been trying to do the shows earlier because it seems like we get better attendance if the show is anywhere between, I don't know, 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. start time. We do much better with attendance. However, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight for various reasons. Um, Probably some show things are on my mind and making getting myself to calm down and rest difficult. So I thought it better to let's just come here and water this garden. For surely a garden that is watered will grow. Um, for those that are unaware, I made a decision regarding the channel here, and that is that I will be doing some, I suppose, public services for the conspiracy land community. I realize that someone who sadly passed away, sort of a friend of mine, uh, passed away, and I was given some VHS tapes of various really old documentaries surrounding Bigfoot and UFOs mostly, and JFK assassination, other topics that would certainly be of interest to our audience here. The problem is that most of it is horrible, horrible quality. So I'm trying slowly to clean that stuff up and put it on our channel here for the benefit of myself. Maybe we'll do a watch party for some of these things, or just for the benefit of research so that it's there and preserved for the sake of history. I think it's important work that these things be preserved for future generations to be able to see them, experience them, and perhaps learn from them. I, for one, find it really amazing to watch something, created in the 1960s or 70s about flying saucers or UFOs and see how people of different time eras approach the phenomenon. So I've made it a point to begin doing that. So far, we're 4 videos in out of, I can't tell you, I can't tell you how many that I have. Hundreds, maybe more than hundreds, maybe 1,000. Um, and these things are in various states of decay and terrible quality. Uh, Basically, these are those VHS tapes that people used to copy and pass around between friends before the internet. Um, and so, if people had an interest in conspiracy land, they would trade VHS tapes back and forth full of different stuff. And I have quite a collection of that stuff. So, we'll be slowly trying to, and again, I'm not an expert in digital video restoration or anything like that, because there's already been some nasty comment. Like, I think, like I just put this is what it is, and it's digitally restored and enhanced. And somebody said, you did a terrible job. It doesn't look much better, or I don't know. So that for this is the first time I deleted a nasty YouTube comment because the guy was just, and then he got personally insulting or so. Like, fuck him. If you don't like it, fuck you. Go watch it somewhere else in better quality. I did the best that I could. Not a digital archivist, but I do have good video editing software. So, in most of the cases of these things, what I'm doing is I'm color correcting it, I'm fixing the lighting and exposure, and I'm trying to unsoften it or sharpen it so that it looks better, especially on here's the deal. Some of these things were meant to be seen on a 24-inch television of the time. You know, they're not meant to be seen on a 70-inch big screen TV. They never were. But I've done my best to do some digital trickery to make them look the best that they could. And if you don't like the job that I did, then, you know, uh, suck a dick. I mean, that's kind of like how I feel about it. We've gotten a lot of really nice comments about, especially about this Bob Lazar lost tape, lost interview with George Knapp, and about Bob Lazar's original VHS tape. I got a lot of positive comments about that. It's like, wow, I've never seen it look this clear and this good. So, hey, this stuff may be hit or miss. It depends a lot on the source material. Some of the stuff I may do, and it's going to look great, you know? And some of the stuff, the source material is too degraded, too shitty. It's not going to look as good, you know? I think it's kind of a crapshoot. And I'm just laying that out there. Like, I'm going to do the very best that I can. I spent hours today, hours yesterday on these latest two uploads, which really are a piece of UFO history. And that is UFO, Friend, Foe, or Fantasy, a 1966 documentary with Walter Cronkite, of all people. It was put out by CBS News. It was sort of like a CBS News special on the phenomenon. And you have Walter Cronkite in it. I think it's an amazing piece of history, and I wanted to share it with my friends here. And then that was yesterday's upload. I'm going to try to do one or two a day. But today, here's another thing. I'm using a really old PC here, and I hate to switch because this PC has been like a workhorse for me for so many years. Like, I don't know. It was old when I got it. Like a friend of mine gave it to me. I think it's an old i5, actually. I don't even know. I need to look. So, but you know, this thing's aging, man. Like it cannot render quickly, and I really got to start doing this work on a more. I have like a crazy IBM ThinkStation with 16 cores. So yeah, I should be doing this work on that. It takes forever to render these things out, and then for some reason, it's taking literally forever for you know, to upload this hour and a half video today. Took 4 hours to upload it to YouTube. I don't know why that is. Everything else, every other site is super fast. I could download stuff like crazy. My upload speed looks good, but YouTube is just throttling how fast you can upload stuff, I guess. Getting off in the weeds. My point is, if I'm going to do this project restoring all this stuff, I don't have the patience for this slow way that it's going so far, one a day. So I'm gonna employ some real powerful, much more powerful computers, and I'm gonna remote desktop everything, put some of my computer skills to work for this project, right? So that I can have 3 or 4 different computers going at once, either rendering or uploading stuff. This should give us a really nice library of historical stuff here that we can all enjoy, and I'm happy to do it. Yeah, I didn't realize somebody just commented. Moody Mongol just commented. It's 4 a.m. UK time, and you're still here. I said, "Why the hell am I awake at this time?" Yes, we'll give some time to the live chat. So either that covers my first bullet point here, which is to explain this, explain why all of a sudden there's these videos on our channel that are not truth seeker shows. Yes, they're not truth seeker shows, but they may be. We may do reviews of them, or we may do, you know, play clips from them, and they'll be right there on the channel to do so. Moody Mongol. I'm gonna have to check that one. Audio keeps cutting out in the video you recently posted. UFOs are real, but I still love the content. I will now. I gotta check it. If you can timestamp where it cuts out for me, that may be helpful. Jeez. See, so it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. There may be a problem with the way the audio was rendered, so now I got to redo that one. Damn it! God damn it! Cuts out for 30 seconds every 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to try that one again then. I'm going to. Wasn't aware of that. Sounded fine on my end. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to mark this one private then. Just bear with me, friends. I'm going to mark that one private, and then I'll fucking do it again tomorrow. Damn it. I thought I accomplished something today. I thought I had accomplished something today. Apparently not. All right, I'm just going to mark that one private so that I'll just check it tomorrow and redo it. There you go. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And just bear with me for 1 second, friends. Okay, I have us queued up here for what we're going to cover tonight. I wasn't going to cover any more of this David Wilcock nonsense, but we will. We're going to wrap things up laughing at this clown tonight. We've done 2 shows out of his, I don't know how long is his video? Out of his nearly 3-hour-long video, we've done 2 shows covering the ridiculousness of David Wilcock, covering all the fake information, the proven fraudulent fake information that he's providing as real and factual while talking out of the side of his mouth for some of it, saying this might not be real, but we wanted to bring it to you. And Daniel Brinkley, his partner in slime, who apparently died and came back from the dead 4 times, saying we looked everywhere to try to verify that this information is real, but they didn't look hard enough, because I got a 4-year-old that could have proven that everything that they were talking about during that 3-hour stream was fake. You know, he knows how to Google. Apparently, Mr. Wilcock, researcher extraordinaire, doesn't know how to Google fact check sites. Because if he had spent 5 minutes on each of the fake stories that he presents in his 3-hour-long video, he would have found out that every major fact site checking site says all of this shit in his entire video that he talked about is fake. This is the quality. This is his work ethic. This is how serious he is about bringing people the truth. He can't do a 5-minute Google search for each of the fake stories that he's presenting as real and factual evidence. That's how lazy Mr. Rich Boy, $1 million lifestyle, living in a millionaire's mansion, that's his work ethic. I don't think this guy ever had a real job in his life. I think he lived off of mommy and daddy's money. They put him through college. He spent their money on living expenses and whatever he wanted, right? While he was in college. Then he got out of college, but he couldn't quite get a real job or figure out life. So they just kept giving him money. And hey, this may be rumors and speculation, but I have had people tell me stories which would seem to indicate that that may be more than rumors and speculation. And you know, the problem with people that never worked hard is that they never will. He will never work hard. Never. Because he's never had to. He's never had to, dig a ditch for 8 hours a day so that he could eat that week. Some of us have, David Wilcock. Some of us have. And therefore, we appreciate our place at this table here, right? We appreciate the responsibility that we have to bring people true and accurate information to the best of our ability. Apparently, the best of your ability is so poor that an entire 3-hour live stream you did can be proven complete and total bullshit by just a few Google searches. Just a few searches. Look up fact-checking sites. Now, some may argue, well, you can't trust all the fact-checking sites. I can if 4 of them say that each of the stories he's presenting are fake. That's 4 fact-checking sites that we have saying your stories are fake, David Wilcock. Show me one that says your stories are real. You can't, because they're fake. They're fake. Yeah, Moody Mongol, thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna, man. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skip that one for now because it is a long one. It's an hour and a half one. And Moody Mongol is commenting on the video I just uploaded, having audio problems where the audio cuts out for 5 minutes at a time. I don't know why that is. I'm going to check it. But in the meantime, I've got 100 more of these things where the audio is fine. So I think for now we'll skip it until I figure out the problem with that one. And besides that, I felt a little weird uploading that one because Wendell Stevens is in it talking about, telling his bullshit stories. And everybody knows how I feel about Wendell Stevens. Yeah, he was a convicted child molester. So I felt a little funny about uploading a documentary that's citing him as a source. Maybe it's for the best. We'll go to a documentary with a little more credible, speakers. So we'll skip that. Alien intervention in human evolution, yet they haven't evolved the ability to fact check. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's okay. I want it to be right, though, Moody Mongol. So I just marked it private, so it'll be off of our channel. I'll upload another one tonight. After this broadcast, I should have a little bit of time. I don't know, but I just haven't been able to get to sleep until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning lately, which is another reason why we are here. But yeah, thank you for letting me know. I want to know if something's wrong like that. Sure, it's a downer. I spent hours on that thing today. Well, really, I only spent a few hours working on it. Then I spent hours waiting for it to render, and then hours waiting for it to upload, but it still feels like I wasted my day now. But I want it to be right. It's all good. We will, I marked that one private. We'll upload the next one in the list that I have, and we'll upload the next one that I have, and then I'll go back to that one and figure out what it might be that I didn't listen to the entire documentary. It may be that the VHS, the source that I was using, had those no audio. I don't know. I'll have to check. But as I recall, the waveform looked okay to me. I do at least look at the audio waveform. I didn't see any, missing sound or anything, but it is what it is. So back to Shady Shilcock, David Wilcock, who lies to his fake fucking teeth for 3 hours during his latest live stream. There are only two choices, friends. Either David Wilcock is too fucking stupid to use Google and go to fact-checking sites and discover that all of his talking points, all of the stories that he's telling people during this 3-hour stream have already been proven to be factually inaccurate and fake. So either he's too stupid to do it, or he knows that these stories are fake and he's running with them anyway. Those are the only two choices here. Either he's too dumb, or he knows, or he's not too dumb and he knows they're fake. But he needs something to talk about while people throw super chat donations at him and to get him ad revenue so he can continue living a millionaire's lifestyle and, by the way, pay no taxes. You and I have to pay taxes on our income. David Wilcock is so arrogant that he thinks he found a loophole. He's going to start a spiritual foundation. And what does a spiritual foundation do? They post videos on his for-profit YouTube, gaining YouTube ad revenue and super chat donations for profit that he thinks he doesn't have to pay any taxes on. And hey, I'm not a tax accountant and I'm not a lawyer, but something doesn't seem right about somebody collecting donations so that they can make videos full of fake stories for profit that they then don't pay any taxes on. Sounds a little shady to me, Shady Shilcock, David Wilcock. We don't have much more of this video to go through, but we're going to laugh at the little bit that's left. And then, so it looks like there's just a little bit left here. And then we have to skip the whole part about the Galactic Federation because we covered that on our first show here, covering this shit show full of this treasure. This is David Wilcock's biggest treasure trove of bullshittery that I have ever heard. Every single thing he said during this entire 3-hour live stream, a child could fact check on could Google and find out it's fake. He's usually not quite this bold with the bullshit. He must be getting desperate for shit to talk about. This is my opinion. This is my speculation. And I'm allowed to have an opinion and I'm allowed to speculate. Here's something else I'm going to speculate about. David Wilcock's days of fucking, collecting tax-free donations may be at an end. He may have figured out that it's really not worth the saving of paying income tax in order to run this foundation, because he has to divulge every dollar he's collecting publicly if he's going to continue with this foundation. I have requested the 990 forms for the past 3 years, and he has not given them to me. So tonight, live on the show, we're going to request them again so that we have, and our previous show here, which was, Tuesday night, we requested them on air. And so far there's 3-4 requests for the 990 forms. For those that don't know, if you run a public charity, there's something called a 990 form that you have to file with the IRS every year, which details exactly how much money you took in donations and what you did with every penny of the money. I got his first one, which was basically he took in a whole bunch of money, spent tons of money on entertainment and travel expenses and equipment, and that's about where all the money and donations went. So, and software, he spent thousands of dollars on software apparently, and I may be misspeaking. I haven't looked at those forms. We're going to cover those again. But for the point being, he has to, if I or any member of the public asks to see the 990 forms for each year, he has to give them to us. And then we're allowed, journalistically, I'm allowed to go report what's on that 990 form to the public. I'm allowed to share that publicly. It's a public record. It's an IRS public record. And here's the issue. These forms will show up on, there are charity watchdog websites on the interwebs here. Those forms will eventually be on those websites, but they're not yet, to the best of my knowledge. So we really, there's nothing I can do other than request the forms again. The only other option I have is to file a complaint with him with the IRS, but for failing to furnish the forms. But I want to be as fair with him as possible. So tonight on air, we're going to send a request for the 990 forms to whatever email addresses we can find for him. I think there's 3. There's one for his wife's website, there's one for his website, and there's one for his spiritual foundation website. We're going to file requests for all 3. Well, really, we're going to file one request, but I will put you guys will get to see. I'm going to CC any email address we can find for him, and that will be another proof that we have done our due diligence requesting these forms. I think this would be admissible in a court of law. This is a dated, time-stamped live stream, and we're going to show that I'm sending the emails online live tonight. He's got to give me the forms. He doesn't have a choice. And I don't know what we're going to do if he refuses to give me the forms, but after tonight, he'll have 30 days to give me the forms. Yeah. So that is what it is. We're going to cover just a little bit more of this latest live stream. Honestly, I can't take much more. It's everything in the live stream is fake bullshit. And I just, my tolerance for his bullshit is probably low because I had to sit through a lot of this video, make notes. So I've sat through some of this video 2 or 3 times, Wow. Yeah. So I give some shout outs. We have Moody Mongol is here. V is here. Bunya is here. Deprogram Podcast is here. Jonocide, Out of Mind. Let me see. BS Alert Buddy. Louis Cayetano is here. Shout out to Spooky. Spooky is here. I saw Mario Heat earlier, I believe. KB is here. Shout out to KB. Yes, Mario Heat is here. Shout out to Mario Heat. I don't know who else all. We'll do more of that. Chris 77 is here. Chris 77 with an amazing comment. David's love and light world meditations negate all requests. Yeah, he doesn't have to be truthful and forthcoming about how much he's collecting in donations and what he's doing with all that money, because he does a world meditation at the end of some of his live streams. And we're going to look at that and laugh at that too, because that's a fucking, it's just comedic. It's just comedic. This guy knows, he's got like a second grader's level of understanding about meditation, but somehow he's a fucking ascended master, right? He's a master of bullshit. That's what he is, a master of bullshit. Steph is here. Shout out to Steph. KB is in the room. Yes, I believe she is. Yes, and welcome, Steph, and welcome, Chris 77. I think these are new live chat participants that I have not seen before. We welcome you here to Truthseekers. I always like to see new faces, and I'm glad to see yours here. So, look, I don't have much patience. Listen, I have to be real honest going into this. I don't have much patience for this, and I may bail out of this 5 minutes. I just, I can't. I don't know that I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best to really, listen to what he's saying, and we're going to stop this video every once in a while. Let me get my. Yes, so listen, I do want to mention, I was very aggressive saying, don't you dare copyright strike me, David Wilcock. And so far, we haven't gotten a copyright strike. So to his credit, he hasn't tried to copyright strike us, as I'm aware he is prone to do when people are critical and revealing that his stories are fake. He does not like that. So he routinely will copyright strike, privacy strike, whatever. But we stand on the principle of fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public and we're critiquing the video that we're sharing. So this is covered under fair use and allowable by law. I'm sorry, this is the wrong fair use one. Wait, there's another one, isn't there? No, maybe not, or maybe I edited it. That'll suffice for now. Yeah, I put this at the end of the video too. So this is my statement of fair use. We definitely are educating the public about the ridiculous lies, factually inaccurate statements, and fake stories that David Wilcock routinely runs with while he's living in $1 million house, living a millionaire's lifestyle, and people are throwing thousands of dollars his way in the form of donations for a charity or a charitable organization that he refuses, at least to me, he refuses to divulge how much he's collecting in donations and what he's doing with the money. Now, to be fair, I sent requests to email addresses. I don't know that for a fact that he has received those requests. So tonight we're going to send new requests. Okay, let me see now. I'm getting discombobulated and lost here. Okay, so I got to share this video. Let's share this video. And for once, I remembered to share the audio. So this is David Wilcock and Daniel Brinkley, UFO disclosure, prophecies coming true. Please remember, if you're just joining us and you haven't seen our previous coverage, that this is our third show covering what a shit show, treasure trove of bullshittery this latest David Wilcock live stream is. We have systematically picked apart every story that he's telling and proven that they are fake. They're fake. Tonight we're just going to wrap up what little bit we have not been through. There's a point where he is trying to sell his book for 20 minutes. We're going to fast forward to that. I may have incorrectly cued the video. So if so, I apologize. So this is fair use. We're going to be commenting and critiquing. We're educating the public, and this is a transformative work. While we educated the public about millionaire lifestyle, David Wilcock, former star of Ancient Aliens, former star. Yeah, former star, for sure. Former star, David Wilcock. Yeah, so, he's living his millionaire's lifestyle. And what does he give people? What is the value of his information? It's all worth less than shit. And we've covered this before. Let's get into it, friends. Okay. He's like rubbing his hands together here like a James Bond villain. I like that. Oh, is this him? We're going to have to fast forward. I think this is him talking about the earthquakes because he's a seismology expert.
Had predicted the fall of the buildings. And this is in 2 different books that I wrote. It's in Synchronicity Key, and now it's also in Awakening in the Dream.
Yeah, he never predicted 9/11 and the buildings falling. He's a liar. And I challenge him to show us where you predicted 9/11. He's got some vague, let's connect 16 different dots of shit that I once wrote to sort of try to tell people that he never predicted shit. None of his predictions come true. His latest prediction that didn't come true is that Donald Trump would win the U.S. presidential election in a landslide. And that didn't happen. So we can see the quality of his predictions. Oh, what was his other famous prediction? That we would all get light bodies when 2012 hit. And we would all get superpowers. And I'm still waiting for my superpowers, David Wilcock. His predictions, I know crackheads that would make better fake psychics. Especially if they needed crack, right? They can predict some things. Like, your car stereo gonna get stolen tonight. He is batting 0. Also, for those that don't know, he's got a website, or he had a website called Ascension2000.com. And most of the material on that website was all centered around all the fear porn and what's going to happen when the year 2000 comes. And his prophetic writings on that website were so terrible, and he batted 0 so badly that he took the website down and tried to prevent people from, reading what he had wrote because none of it came true. But we've got copies. He's a terrible fake prophet, and also claims to be Edgar Cayce reincarnated. We've been over that. He's a fake Edgar Cayce reincarnated. They don't believe it. None of his family believe it. The Edgar Cayce Foundation don't believe it. They asked him to take a test to prove his claims. They asked him to stop making those claims. He refused.
And in 1999, on my website, you can go to Awakening in the Dream, look it up in the book. There's a link there. So if you get the ebook, this is one of the really cool things.
Oh, yeah. We got to fast forward this because this is him trying to sell his book. I thought we got past it.
Reading that talked about this. So let's talk about it in terms of the original storyline. So here is the slide. This is the actual text. And remember, it first applied to 2000. Now you have to look at the context and see, okay, this was in 1999. The word this, we don't know what this is yet. This becomes the election crisis of 2000, which, as you know, it was disputed. It went to the Supreme Court. And ultimately, Gore lost.
So he wrote, the vice president considers this his own authorship. How the hell does that have anything to do with Al Gore losing the election? Now he's going to try to connect it to Mike Pence. This is why he's full of shit. That statement is not a prophecy of what's happening either in 2000 or right now. He's just connecting dots where there are no dots. This is what he's got. This is his proof of his psychic powers.
Who was Gore? He was the vice president of the United States under Clinton. So the vice president of Clinton was running against George W. And looking at the slide again, in case we're not there, considers this. So the vice president who's running for office, right, the following year after this came in, the vice president considers this election his own authorship, meaning he's the author of it. He's determining how this thing is going to go. He's looking at the numbers. He's saying, I can win this. We can get it in the Supreme Court. I can get this done. The vice president considers this his own authorship. So just to jog your memory, here's...
Boy, he is really going out on a limb trying to connect these psychic dots, isn't he? Isn't he? Boy, what a fucking terrible psychic. He considers this his own authorship. That means I predicted what happened with Al Gore. No, it doesn't. It means this is, and by the way, anybody that follows David Wilcock knows, even when he writes, for example, a resignation letter from a company that he works for, it's 13 pages long. Okay? He's got blog posts that are 50 pages long. Single blog posts. He writes so much shit. It's like that old saying, if you throw enough shit at a wall, something's going to stick. So he writes so much shit, and then he goes back to his shit garbage writings and picks out something like this. The vice president considers this his own authorship. And somehow we're all supposed to believe that that means that he predicted what happened with the Al Gore election fiasco of 2000, right? No, it's a random sentence of bullshit. Now, had you said Al Gore will appear to win, then appear to lose, and have to stand up in front of Congress and declare his adversary the winner, that would be a prophetic dream or a prophecy that came true, because it's specific. This is so vague and so bullshittery. I can't believe that he's trying to claim that he's a real psychic because of this shit. The vice president considers this his own authorship. And now I think he's going to try to connect this to Mike Pence as well. What a fucking bullshitter.
Gore, in his younger years, the vice president considers this crisis his own authorship, meaning he's going to say we need to go to the Supreme Court, while not realizing that he is completely naked, meaning the vice president is going to lose. Okay? He's completely naked. There's nothing he can do.
Somehow, while not realizing that he is completely naked means he's going to lose. No, it means he didn't realize he was completely naked, according to you. It doesn't mean what you're saying. You're connecting dots that aren't there, David Wilcock. Are you so fucking desperate to convince people that you're a psychic, that this is the limb that you're going to... Do you really think people are that stupid? You wrote these two things and somehow that predicts what happened to Al Gore? No, it doesn't. It doesn't predict anything. It predicts what a fucking scuzzball you are, trying to collect money from people for this kind of quality of psychic ability. Jesus Christ. God. Really? You're going to collect money from people claiming to be a psychic?
The other side, Bush's side in this case, had totally rigged it in their favor. And then it says the interim period decides the next victor. Well, what happens in an E? An E has a victor. It has...
Yeah, and he's afraid to say the full word because he's so paranoid that his channel's going to get taken down, and he's not going to be able to pay his, I don't know if it's somewhere between $6,000 and $9,000 monthly mortgage payment on the $700,000 or $800,000 he still owes on his $1 million mansion, right? He keeps using, through this whole 3-hour broadcast, he won't say any words that he thinks that YouTube might flag him for, or that the algorithm might decide he's talking about things that are bannable. He's a coward then. If he really believed in this information, then he would say the full words, but he won't because he's a coward.
As a winner. That's what victor means. It means winner. Okay? And the interim period, that's a period between two things. And there was an extended delay between the election and when the Supreme Court
37 days.
That's right. Handed it to Bush. So the
also
interim period.
But remember this, David. Every time you say that name of a president, when you look back at the history of that president, okay, you see it links directly to the DS. There's
right.
no escape from that heritage and that history of that dynasty.
Here we go again with the abbreviations, because they're both cowards. And he must have told Daniel Brinkley that he can't say this, he can't say that, he can't, because through this whole thing, both him and Daniel Brinkley keep saying DS, the E, the F, for fraud, right?
That goes all the way back to literally Nazi Germany.
And in our previous video, we talked about how the entire 2000 election was designed based on this pattern from 1876, that they'd actually released the Gore Vidal book, 1876.
Yeah, and here he is connecting more dots of bullshit. I didn't even cover this last live stream because it was just nonsensical, rambling nonsense trying to connect some book from 1876, because that book got published shortly before the 2000 election. Somehow they used it as a blueprint for how to cheat in 2000 and rig the elect. Come on, man.
In advance in February, I showed you that. And I showed you how on Halloween, days before the election, that this insider Sherman Skolnick actually said it appears that the election is going to be there's going to be a constitutional crisis, and that the vote will be
Yeah, one conspiracy theorist fringe nut job guessed good. That's what that is.
uncertain. Because, and then he later...
And any really super close election can result in a constitutional crisis. We've almost got that with our current situation because the election was close enough.
clarified that it's because they designed it based on this 1876 thing where Samuel Tilden lost the election. Well, that's what you would do if you had complete control over how they're tabulated and where it ends up going with the machines.
And now today it's an algorithm.
It's
not
much
about
more complex.
It's not about punching and putting in ballots or stamping them or counting them. It's not about it. It's algorithms. It's look at the advancement of...
Yeah, and somehow a guy that died 4 times and came back from the dead 4 times is now an expert on, all things to do with our presidential elections. Okay.
What we're looking at 2000, which is the same game that's being played in 2020. It's the same game. Gore was winning.
Well,
he was winning by X amount of
right.
votes. So if you take it's like if you take Florida, I don't care. You will know what's going to happen. Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, you know what's going to happen.
And the Bush side muscled them out in a secret war.
But there's no secret war, you dummy. It was a close election. Mr. Gore got every legal opportunity afforded to him to do recounts, to, do whatever he wanted to do. And at the end of the day, George Bush eked out just a few more votes from him in key swing states and was able to win. There's no conspiracy there. There wasn't a secret war, you dummy. Sorry. I apologize. I'm going to try to not be personally insulting of this person. I honestly feel bad for him. This guy's got a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 nut to crack every month to try to keep his $1 million mansion, and he is desperate, connecting dots that aren't there, claiming to have superpowers and psychic powers he can't prove, at least not to anybody that has a brain. And this is what he's doing with his life to try to feel good about himself, I guess. Like I'd mentioned this previously. He's got to sit around his $1 million mansion and look around and go, I did real good selling bullshit today. I did real good. I deserve this $1 million house that stupid people are sending me money to help pay for.
But again, as we discussed in the previous show, the one thing that everybody agrees upon unquestioningly is secrecy. So even if these two factions of the cabal are fighting each other to the death, which would be the British banking faction, the European aristocracy faction, which was the Gore side, the Clinton side, and they want to control the world through high finance. They want to get rid of the oil business. Then the Bush side is the oil business, right? So what was Gore's movie? An Inconvenient Truth. Mm-hmm. What was the subject of the movie? Oh my God, the world is being destroyed from climate change.
Yeah, and no offense, but Mr. Gore was just basically completely and totally wrong in every model and predictive model he tried to put forth as reality. I believe that according to him, by 2010, both coastlines would be like a mile shorter because of rising tides, and the Antarctic glaciers were going to melt and that would raise sea levels because of climate. Nothing in it's a good documentary, and I believe in climate change. Just so everybody knows, I'm not a climate change denier, but most of the people that are real advocates are a little too far alarmist for me. And that video was certainly incredibly alarmist as far as the predictions that he made. None of them came true so far. Not one.
What was the response to that? Ultimately, it was this carbon cap thing. This was a plan. I was hearing about this years ago, that the DS wanted to deindustrialize the world. They want to stop everybody from driving, stop everybody from leaving their house, stop all the factories, stop all the machines. It sounds kind of good, except that, wait a minute, if you guys are holding on to the technology where this could be done cleanly with free energy that doesn't pollute, and everybody can have a life where they get to live like a millionaire, and you're holding that back.
So everybody, we get to live like you in $1 million house? Is everybody's $1 million house paid for by bullshit in this utopian setting that Al Gore and Clinton, and I don't even understand what the hell where he's going here. He's nonsensical. He's just connecting all kinds of shit that has no connection to each other. But that's what he does.
That's insanity.
Control.
They don't like us. They don't like us. They want to kill us.
They don't like so many of us.
They don't like so many. Yeah.
According to a BG, they just don't like so many of us. They need X amount of us because here comes robotics. What happens when a robot can cook a hamburger better than you? What happens? So you have to, and this is me being funny, but you have to eliminate X amount of us.
What other ingredients would the robot put in the hamburger? That's what I want to know.
Well, looks like you said, if you take away all of the healthy cooking.
And I just want to say that we're going to give an award to David Wilcock's wife, Elizabeth Wilcock, for set decoration, because somehow she managed to put in, to me, this just reminds me of a big dick right next to David Wilcock. And I don't know anything that could be more fitting than a big phallic symbol of a dick right next to him while he's streaming lies and bullshit, trying to hang on to his $1 million house paid for by stupid people making donations for the quality work that he's doing here, selling fake shit.
And all of the
oh, look, there's some crystals too. I like crystals though.
Things that give people a way to take better care of themselves, then the food stuff that we're eating is already presetting what's going to happen to us so they can develop drugs to feed us.
Why had they already massively attacked all the organic food and healthy eating discussion forums? There was over 40 of them, and they all had like millions. A lot of them had millions of people.
And the law
wiped them out.
And the laws against how
nobody wiped out organic eating forums, at least not to my knowledge. And by the way, you dummy, everybody that I know that lives and works in Silicon Valley is kind of a Whole Foods, organic, healthy eating kind of a person. So it would be the tech giants that would have to stamp out those forums. That hasn't happened because they're fans of that stuff, you dummy.
How you have to put on the food, what's in it.
Right. And this is all, these are groups that are discussing the benefits of eating organic, the benefits of taking vitamins, the benefits of taking natural supplements. What can you get with hawthorn berry? What can you get with juniper? What can you get with ginseng? What can you get with, just kill it all, get rid of all of those discussion groups. That's what they did last year.
Yeah. Maybe we should fact check them like live right here. And see if they got rid of all of the, healthy eating forums, right? Okay, I'm looking here. A quick Google search. We've got, let's see, healthy eating forums. We've got 31,000 results for healthy eating forums. We have reach out forums, top 20 food forums, discussion and message boards you may like. Resources for healthy eating forum, health, nutrition, and special diet forum, healthy weight forum, healthy eating forum, nutrition remarks, Spark People, how to improve your diet and nutrition forum, I mean, this is just the first page, and he's saying they wiped them all out. Then why am I finding them all, David Wilcock? Do you not know how to work Google? What the hell is wrong with you? I just fact-checked you in 2 seconds and proved that everything you're saying here is completely and totally false, you dummy. Oh, I did it again. He's not a dummy. He's an extremely flawed human being, much like me. And I apologize for characterizing him as a dummy or stupid. But I get upset. It's so easy, David Wilcock. Could you have Googled before you said that they wiped out all the healthy eating forum? Let me see, minimims.com, healthy eating forum, healthy diet forum, new forum, healthy recipe sharing, eating healthy while in isolation at home forum. Want to understand healthy eating? This forum's for you. The healthy diet forum, diet and nutrition forum, healthy eating, adding fruits and vegetables to my diet, healthy eating tips, and this is a forum. I'd love to know what healthy eating forums got shut down. He said they all got shut down, and I just found 31,000 Google results for healthy eat. All I did was put in healthy eating forum, David Wilcock, and I got 31,000 results. If people want to discuss healthy eating, there's tons and tons, probably thousands of forums for people that want to talk about healthy eating. They didn't shut them all down. What are you saying here? Are you just lying through your fake fucking teeth again? Are you lying through your fake fucking teeth here? I think so, because I just did a quick Google search and there's tons of healthy eating forums. How does he lie with a straight face like this? And look at the face on him. That is the face of a man who just got caught lying through his fake fucking teeth. How many times do I have to prove to people that you lie through your fake fucking teeth every time you hit go live?
And now they're attacking homeopathy.
That's right.
Relentlessly. So
getting back to this, because I don't want to.
Well, that may be true, at least in the United States, because homeopathy, you know what? I'm not even going to express an opinion, but it may be true that companies that sell homeopathic remedies in the United States are having a big problem. They can no longer, to the best of my knowledge, but I'm no expert. And that's because the FDA started stepping in and saying, excuse me, you can't tell people that, for example, we cited an example where fake psychic Sarah Adams was selling a homeopathic remedy for COVID-19, but she was doing it out of England, which is still permissible. She couldn't sell them to the United States. So yeah, they may be cracking down on homeopathic remedies and people, because a lot of homeopathic, I'm not going to express an opinion on homeopathic remedies except to say that it has been for years and was a breeding ground for snake oil salesmen selling unproven treatments for specific ailments and illnesses. And that's not permissible under United States law.
Lose this, and we're starting to get short on time. We still have some slides to do. Getting back to the slide now, I discovered that this same election prophecy actually also fits the 2020 election, and it's so funny.
So he's saying the same bullshit that he wrote in 1999. It perfectly predicted the Al Gore situation, and it also fits the 2020 election. What are the odds of that? Wow, you predicted both, David Wilcock? You're full of shit. You predicted neither, not with any specifics.
But I was lying down in what we call the love room with my wife.
He's got a love room. Holy shit. He just said he's got a love room, folks. What's a love room? Does anybody in live chat know what a love room is? Sounds like where you do the nasty to me. I don't got a love room. He's got a love room. He was laying down in the love room.
And this is a long story, okay? And if you want to interject something, you can. But we were...
Oh, he just gave his wife permission to speak there. Isn't that nice of him?
It's mostly because that's when we pet our dog. And
That's where... It's where we pet our dog, yes.
Oh, that's what happens in the love room. I thought David Wilcock was getting his groove on, right? Getting his fuck on in the love room. No, that's where he pets his dog. Okay, I stand corrected. David Wilcock's got a love room in his house, and that's where he pets his dog.
And I
stretch.
was sitting there,
Stretch.
and it dawned on me that the prophecy of the 2000 election, the vice president considers this his own authorship. The vice president doesn't necessarily have to be Gore. It could also be Joe B, right? The vice president considers this election, or whatever, I'm not going to say that word very much.
No, you didn't say election in your statement. You said considers this his own authorship. You didn't specify. Is that how your fake psychic predictions work? Because that's how a lot of fake psychics predictions work. They throw out a lot of vague and misleading statements that could apply to anything, and then later they connect the dots. And that's what he's doing here. It's a common trick with fake psychics from Nostradamus forward for thousands of years. Gene Dixon was famous for doing this. Let's see, who else? Edgar Casey was famous for doing this. And I could cite more examples of people who write vague, unspecific, generalized statements and then later try to claim that what they meant was this applies to the 2000 election. That's what he's doing here. Or no, this could apply to the current election.
The vice president considers this his own authorship.
You didn't say or election in your statement. You said considers this his own authorship. That could be anything. That could be an executive order. He helped the president write something that was his own authorship. He could have helped the president write a book. He could have written a blog post or a tweet. This statement that you've written can apply to almost anything, David Wilcock. You didn't say the words election in it. You were not specific at all. And this is a pathetic attempt to prove to the few followers you have left that aren't Chinese bot farm viewers that you still have psychic powers.
While not realizing that he is completely naked. The interim period will decide the next victor. Okay, so now I start thinking, because what happened with this pestilence that showed up early this year, okay? You saw that all of the readings that I was quoting from in my book, right in the same readings, they start talking about the blight and the sickness, and that there's going to be this like a plague, and that people are going to be wearing gloves and masks, and that you're going to be stuck at home. And if you go back and watch
and again, listen, there are new strange illnesses every year. Go ask the CDC. So again, he throws out some vague statements and is going to try to claim credit for predicting our current health crisis. It's him going out on a limb, trying to prove his fake superpowers. It's bullshit.
those videos, and I'd like to redo this or maybe do it in a book at some point, but there's a tremendous amount of very, very accurate prophecies showing what was going on. And if you remember, at the last page of my book, Awakening in the Dream, if you have a copy of it and you turn to the last page, I have a diagnosis of the prophecies in the book where I actually show that there were these three words that were used: scoff, have, rid. And then in scoff, you have CO. In have, you have V. And in rid, you have ID. COVID.
Oh, my God. Okay? So he said some words, scoff and vid, or video. And now he's going to try to glue the letters together to somehow claim that he predicted our current health crisis. Wilcock, this is a new low even for you. Here you are again, lying through your fake fucking teeth. If you had used those words or those letters together, COVID will come in 2020, then you could claim that you predicted this. But now you're just stringing together letters. You've written, 500-page books. I can string together letters from a book I wrote about nothing to do with this and claim that I predicted our current health crisis. By your own logic here, this is fucking ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. I got to hear this again. I'm sorry. We're going to back up just a little bit.
The vice president considers this his own authorship.
Nobody's putting words in that he didn't originally put into the prediction to make it more valid and more, Jesus Christ.
while not realizing that he is completely naked. The interim period will decide the next victor. Okay, so now I start.
Listen to him repeat his own words like he's some kind of visionary, right? Now I start putting it together in our love room. And yeah, maybe my next cabin edition is going to be a love room. I'm going to see how my wife feels about that. Maybe we need a love room.
Thinking, because what happened with this pestilence that showed up early this year, okay? You saw that all of the readings that I was quoting from in my book, right, 4 times, and that I went through in those videos, accurately describe exactly what we're going through now. In other words, it's really hard for people to accept this, but the beings that both Danny and I have had access to in different ways, you had to freaking die to do it.
Well,
4 times.
I have to get my.
You had to die to get access to those special beings 4 times. They have access to special beings, right? Prove it. Prove it. Show us a special being. You fuck Jesus Christ. You have access to special beings. You mean like imaginary friends? I have access to special beings too. My imaginary friends.
My attention, and now they miss me.
Now they miss you.
So they have to kill me and bring me back over because they miss me.
But we are now in a situation where that prophecy was encoded. It's in my book. You can read the book, and now you watch the video and you get all the rest of the information. It really looks like that's what was done.
But David, it's also showing, it's an overlay of showing it's the same game.
No, he's connecting dots that aren't here. He literally just said that you have to copy COV from one word in one of his books and VID from another word in his book to prove that he predicted the current health crisis. That is nonsensical bullshit. It's just nonsensical bullshit.
Hold on. I got to get this out. So what I want to show here, folks, is that when I went back to this prophecy for right now, and I looked at it now, both of these words for these 2 men are encoded into that prophecy with exactly the same methodology that they used in the other one regarding the pestilence. So let's look at this first. Now, it's a very strange choice of words, right? Interim period. That's a very technical kind of esoteric languaging. It's not a common way of using language.
Yeah, the interim period is a pretty common statement. Jesus Christ, man.
Let's take all of these words now that are in yellow, all of these letters, and make them capitalized and cram it all together. And this is what we get. Now, let's highlight a certain part of...
Man, he would be terrible at Scrabble because that's not a fucking word. Interim period is not one word. That's just 2 words crammed together. Where are you going with this, David Wilcock? Are we playing Scrabble here? Because I'm pretty sure that's not a word.
Interim period. And now let's take away the rest of the letters. And then let's just take away the vowels.
And this is his proof that he's talking about Donald Trump and Mike Pence and Joe Biden. If you just put these words together and then take all of, oh my God, this is bullshit. Holy Jesus, this is some grade A bullshit. Holy shit, this is the bullshit award. You get the bullshit award. This is your proof of your fucking psychic powers? Jesus Christ, this is terrible.
This is astonishing, especially...
It's only astonishing to you. It's ridiculous, silly, and nonsensical to anyone with a brain, David Wilcock.
Especially because when we look at the context of the prophecy, we're going to see how this works. But again, this is exactly how the letters of the other thing were encoded. That's on the last page of my book. It happened again. It's in the right order. And most of the letters, all the letters except the vowel.
Dude, this is a huge stretch. If you take something that I wrote in my book in 1999 and you put the words together and then you drop some of the letters, and then you take out the vowels, then it says Trump. See? I was talking about Donald Trump. Jesus Christ, David Wilcock, you are desperate. And look at his face here. He looks like a guy that just got caught lying through his fake fucking teeth, because he did. This is you lying through your fake fucking teeth again.
Are there. The only thing we're missing is a U. Okay, so let's go back to the slide again. So that,
why don't you copy the U from another word?
Walk you through this one more time just so you can see it, okay? The interim period.
Look at him connect these dots that aren't there. Oh, what a desperate act of bullshit.
You highlight that part, you get rid of the other letters, you get rid of the vowels, and there you go. Now,
Syrup, what a joke you
look
are,
at this.
bro.
The vice president considers. Okay, now check this out, okay? These two words side by side are all the letters of the contender, except for the B. And you can see this right here. IDEN in president, and IDE in considers, and then you can actually grab the N by getting the N in considers. So you've got IDEN twice.
God, I can't believe.
And then, maybe this is a little bit of a reach, but this is how these higher beings work. They're very holographic.
Maybe this is a little bit of a reach. You turn the P in the president upside down to get a B. Are you fucking kidding us? Are you fucking kidding us? This is the best that you could do for a psychic prediction? Jesus Christ. Well, all you got to do is copy these letters, drop these letters, put these words together, and then turn the P upside down to get a B. This is not how psychic powers work, David Wilcock. If you were really psychic, you would have just said what would happen. But you don't, and none of these guys do.
The way they think, if you turn the P of president upside down, it becomes a B, and then you get this in code, okay? So now let's take that information, the fact that this happened twice, okay? IDEN happens.
So he's just putting Biden in there. By whatever means of bullshittery, he has to change the letters, put the letters together, drop some letters, turn letters upside down. Dude, if this is real, then I'm a better psychic than you. I'm a better psychic than you. I'm going to take some shit out of my book, and we're going to drop letters and change letters, turn letters upside down or backwards so it'll say what I want my fake psychic prediction to say. This is beyond a stretch, friends. It's beyond a stretch.
Twice. The vice president considers this his own authorship. Okay, so there's a definite possibility that that last name is encoded in there. And then authorship is also a very strange word, because once again, let's take the letters, let's put them all in capitals.
Authorship is not a strange word. It's one of the most common words. It's a common word in the English language. Maybe not one of the most, but it's a common word. I was the steward of authorship of my book.
And then we take certain letters out, which again, they're in the right order. And then the only other one that's not in order is the U on the left. So when you cram them all together without putting them in the right sequence, you get it this way. If you change the position of the U, you get this. So now we have TERIM.
Does he just sit around trying to concoct this bullshit? Like, let's figure out if we drop some letters, turn some letters backwards, turn some letters upside down, I can prove I have superpowers. No, you can't. This is bullshit.
P, which becomes TRMP, and you get TRUP in another word. So then it says that this guy, who, remember, IDEN is encoded twice, not realizing that he is completely naked. Now think about this, folks. Let's go to this one here. Not realizing that he is completely naked.
He kind of looks like he's really stretching himself thin here. Folks, the bullshit game is strong with this guy. But even he can't convince people of this bullshit. This is some grade A, top of the line, horse shit, bullshit, pick a shit. It's shit. It's garbage. This is garbage. This is not real information. This is garbage.
Is one of a variety of ways to explain what Gore was involved with and his situation. But it makes even more sense in light of if by he we also say his offspring, completely naked. Think about it. Think about what that's actually saying.
And I just want to take a moment.
It's the laptop.
I just want to take a moment here to say, why is David Wilcock thinking about Joe Biden and Al Gore naked so much? I don't know another man that would think about those two guys naked anywhere near this much. He has put a lot of time and energy into thinking about these two men naked. Maybe he thinks about Trump naked too, but I think that's strange. I'm entitled to my opinion. Why is a man, a married man, thinking about other men naked so much?
It's
this. He could have repressed homosexuality issues. That's just opinion and speculation, but I'm entitled to it considering he's a public figure that's going on a public live stream talking about two naked men that he's thinking about naked for all this time.
the fact that the laptop, you're seeing this person completely naked. Okay, that's a big part.
Oh, now he's going to connect the laptop into this treasure trove of bullshit. And is he thinking about Hunter Biden naked too? Why is he thinking about so many men getting naked?
Going on. It's actually in the prophecy.
It's not in the prophecy. It's only in the prophecy if you drop letters, drop words, push words together, turn a letter backwards or upside down. I could do that with anything. We could take any book and do this.
Right after IDEN shows up twice. So that's another part of it. It makes more sense in 2020 than it did in 2000, completely naked.
Right.
So then the interim period, when I look up the words interim, what we see here, one of the things, definition number two, a temporary or provisional arrangement, and then down under adjective.
Oh my God, what a reach this is. This is the greatest reach that I've ever seen this clown do, ever.
It again says temporary and provisional.
You know, I really think that we're having an effect. For those that don't know, David Wilcock is a huge fan of our show here. He watches every episode, or so I'm told. I could be wrong, especially those where we talk about him. And I think me hammering him that his fake superpowers are fake is infecting his subconscious. And now he's subconsciously trying to prove to both himself and the few followers he has left that aren't, fake Chinese bot farm views, that he really does have these psychic superpowers. Because I've never seen him try to prove his fake prophetic predictions to this level of bullshittery, to this level of connecting dots that aren't there. I think he's stretching for a reason, because hopefully we're starting to have an effect. And here's what I wish for David Wilcock. I wish that tomorrow he wakes up and realizes that he doesn't have superpowers.
What has this whole particular E been about? In E's in the United States, a provisional B called an affidavit B in New York is used to record a vote when there are questions about a given voter's eligibility that must be resolved before the V can count. So the actual word interim, refers more to the term provisional.
Yeah.
Oh
and the
my God.
provisional.
Just connect any dots that aren't there. We got to fast forward a little bit because I'm losing my patience for this fake psychic.
Maybe I'm becoming important enough that they'd actually listen and just take it down out of spite. But honestly,
we got to go back, because now he's going to talk about his YouTube ban that could be coming any day now. He keeps on scaring people, better donate now. They can take my YouTube channel down at any moment.
had a website called skepticalaboutskeptics.org, I believe, in which they infiltrated a skeptics gathering. And these are the bane of our existence, both of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the
Skeptics are the bane of their existence. Why is that? Is it because skeptics point out to people how ridiculous your fake superpowers are? I guess I'm included in that, right? I'm one of the people showing people that you talk about completely and totally factually inaccurate fake stories. You're talking about your fake superpowers now, trying to prove them. And now you're complaining about skeptic societies.
The Skeptics Gathering, what Rupert Sheldrake and his people saw is that they were training the people that go after us. All you have to do, and they said this with slides on the stage, and everybody's there learning this. All you have to do is say, this has been disputed, it's fake news, it's not true. Never explain why, and be very, very confident. And that was how they're educating people to be skeptics. You don't ever actually say why it's not disputed.
No, most skeptics do cite sources, David Wilcock, and most skeptics can. Like, for example, we can show through fact-checking sites that every story that you talked about is completely and totally ridiculous. And you know what else we did? On our last show, we proved that this ridiculous conspiracy theory that you were selling on your live stream, the source of which was a white supremacist, Holocaust-denying, convicted felon, fringe conspiracy theorist. So we did cite a reason why the story is not credible. He wants to explain away all the skeptics because you know why? They're starting to have an effect on his wallet, and he doesn't like that. That's why they're the bane of his existence.
Or why it's been falsified. You just simply say, this is nonsense, it's not true. And that's the way everybody is about prophecy. But I really think...
Look at Andy Wakefield about these. Look at what happens. You completely destroy a scientist who's just doing scientific observations about the construction of a certain vaccine.
That's right.
And you destroy.
Friends, I
We're
don't
not going to say that word
right,
yet.
Sorry. Sorry, everybody.
We're trying to...
Yeah, he just said the V word. You can't say that, Daniel. I might get my channel shut down.
Stay online here. We're really trying because most of this stuff is all done with algorithms and it's automated. Maybe I'm becoming important enough that they'd actually listen and just take it down out of spite. But honestly, I think they got big problems right now.
No, David Wilcock, some rich millionaire living in his $1 million house, going on live streams and lying to people doesn't make you important. And it never will make you important. You'll never be important with the quality of your sources. Let's see, sources like a convicted felon, white supremacist, Holocaust-denying, fringe conspiracy theorist who said that 50,000 Chinese troops were walking across the American border recently. And you ran with that story. You're never going to be important. Never.
And I don't think they could even begin to play this whack-a-mole game of stopping everybody from talking about this.
Because the president will not sign the National Defense Act without them removing 230, which protects them, that makes them publishers.
That's
as
right.
opposed to, and then 48 states have sued them, plus the FCC have sued those manipulators. So they are positioning in multiple ways the enforcement of the 2018 EO.
Okay, so let's talk about insurrection and let's talk about where this might be going before we get to the final section, because we got a little over a half an hour to go. And we're going to make it this time.
I'll let you run over just a little, David.
Oh, okay.
Because,
well, it's...
you know, I just want to keep it. Everybody's time is important, and everybody has to take this information and think it heartfelt, wise, and smart.
Yeah, and they have to fact check the shit that's coming out of your mouth and the shit that's coming out of your clown's partner in slime next to his mouth. Because it's all lies, it's all fake, it's all easily proven fake.
Because it could get crazier than hell, or it could be managed very, very well. And this is the things that we have to look at, because Tuesday is the day they declare the electorate.
Right.
And they've already done it.
So there's so many things that are going on behind the scenes, and I want to just develop what we already have here, because remember, the military movement is not in dispute. It is not
Military move assets all the time. This clown deciding that World War III is going to begin any minute because some, ships are moving around. There are military assets moved all over the world every day. It doesn't mean anything except to this clown who's going to try to convince people that World War III is going to start any day now.
Disputable. You can go online, you can research that these objects are in play. They are being moved to Nellis. They are being stationed out in the waters. This is not fake. Okay, so I don't want.
And listen, I'm going to credit C.W. Channer with this. C.W. Channer noticed a pattern that I have also noticed, and I can't recall. Somebody in the live chat, what does C.W. Channer call it's like the, geez, I'm drawing a blank, but C.W. Channer has noticed a certain pattern with David Wilcock where he'll throw out a real and factual piece of information that can be verified. But then, it's like the circle back lie maneuver, right? Like throw out a piece. This is C.W. Channer's riff, not mine. David Wilcock does this all the time. C.W. Channer is absolutely and completely and totally right in his assessment of this tactic that David Wilcock uses time and time again. So shout out to C.W. Channer for realizing this and sharing it with his viewers. I agree with C.W. Channer 100%. And other people have noticed this. David Wilcock will throw out a piece of factually verifiable information, like right now, they're moving military assets around. There's ships moving from one port to another. There's airplanes moving over to Nellis Air Force Base for one reason or another. That's a factual statement. But now he's going to circle back and tack some lies on after he's given you the one piece of truth. Doesn't make anything he's going to say next true, but he thinks it does.
You to be afraid. This is very important. If you are on the edge of your seat, terrified that things are about to turn into WW3, well, it already started. It's a cyber Pearl Harbor, folks. It's not.
He just said that World War III already just started.
Since 2016.
That F-16 might have been taken down, and we know from good sources.
And we've covered this previously. He's about to get into this plane crash, which was a tragic plane crash, but he's using it to. And here we go. He just did exactly what C.W. Channer describes. He threw out a piece of real and factual information, and now he's throwing out a lie on top of it. You know that plane that crashed? That might have been taken out. No. This is this tactic that has been described by C.W. Channer. Throw out a piece of accurate information and then tack on some lies to it.
Attorneys and so forth and prominent people have said that there was a raid and that this server was grabbed and that as a result there was a firefight and that the deaths were covered up as.
And right now he's talking about this Dominion hoax in which people claim that the United States military raided and stole a server. I believe it was in Germany. No, that has been proven to be completely and totally factually inaccurate. It never happened. But here he is again with this circle back lie maneuver. Throw out a piece of real information, then throw out a bunch of bullshit tacked on top of it.
Accidental deaths.
True.
So what we're heading into is most likely, let's just say this first. The Alliance is going to try very, very hard to do a non-military solution. If we don't get invaded, and it
we're going to get invaded because World War III already started. This is the quality of the information that he's presenting to people. It's fear porn. It's just fear porn. Are you on the edge of your seat wondering if World War III is going to happen? It's already begun. Really.
And if this can be done legally, and if the public can learn the truth in a legitimate way, this may be avoided. However, there are enormous dangers of attacks that are unanticipated. Now, I personally believe that those attacks will not carry through, but the Alliance is deeply concerned about highly destructive, highly massive attacks. We don't need to get into too much detail.
Yeah, the Alliance, this alliance of his imaginary friends that he created in his imagination that there is no proof, no evidentiary support of, no facts, no documents proving there's any such thing. He just made it up. And it's like a 10-year-old on the playground. I'm with the good guys, the alliance. And there's the bad guys. Those are the dark alliance. And they're fighting. But I'm with the good guys.
Detail about what they are or how they would happen. But there's very significant concern about that happening on a multiplicity of fronts. Now, getting back to the book that I wrote, the books that I've written that I was just referring to, the whole darn thing is already laid out for you. The fact.
No, your books are full of nonsense and lies. And by the way, you owe me $19.95 and I think $9.95. I want my money back because, Mr. Wilcock, I can prove in a court of law that your books are filled with factually inaccurate statements, with made-up fairy tales that you claim are real and true stories. And they're not. And I can prove it. So I want my money back.
Fact that I was getting readings in 1999 saying the military-industrial complex was going to be essentially overthrown, that there would be this restoration of the truth, which includes disclosure, that we will have UFO truth coming out. We will learn that we.
So he predicted that we would have UFO truth coming out in the year 2000. That's what he's saying here. And 20 years and we don't have it yet. So does that mean that you were false in your prediction? I think so.
They're not alone in the universe. And the most shocking betrayal of all is the sheer magnitude of the infrastructure that has been built out underground and off planet with the help of various ET groups.
So again, he threw out that one piece of factually accurate information, and then he's tacked on, let's see, the F-16 may have gotten shot down, the Dominion voting, they raided the office and they stole back the server. He predicted disclosure, that's 3. Deep underground bases and off-world bases, that's 4. 4 pieces of bullshit tacked on to one piece of factually accurate information. Let's see how far he goes. Is there any more here, David? Do you got any more bullshit to tack onto your one piece of truth? And listen, tacking on 4 pieces of bullshit onto one piece of truth doesn't make anything else true.
Many of which are highly benevolent and really do want our best interests in mind. And so,
the aliens are benevolent.
Even though the Alliance cannot bank on this, and I understand that because they have to work within their constraints, I do not believe that our guardian, positive, benevolent, angelic ETs would ever allow any of these massively destructive things to actually play out.
Okay. So angelic bluebird beings are going to come and save the human race? Is that what you're saying here? They won't let this destructive stuff happen. They're going to intervene on our behalf. Here's the hopium portion of the bullshittery.
I do not believe that it would be permitted, because what we've learned from astronauts like Edgar Mitchell and many others is that many of these UFOs have been seen over installations where these ordinances are being stored, and you know what I'm talking about, that could ruin the whole world when they get launched, okay? They power down the whole installation, and the weapons are rendered inert, radioactively inert, okay? So this has happened not once, not twice, but dozens and dozens of times with visible UFO sightings for every nation on the planet. Now...
Stop. There is actually some factually provable testimonies of people in the know that have said that UFOs have appeared over nuclear installations, and something happened with the weapons. It's never been proven that's happened in every country in the world. He just said it happened with every country in the world. No, that's a reach. Again, throw out a little piece of truth and tack on lots of bullshit.
A conventional military attitude would be, oh, this is a threat, this is hostile, this is dangerous. I'd ask you to think differently. I'd ask you to try to think about the idea that there are actually good guy ETs out there that have vast...
Here we are. We're 10-year-olds on a playground. He's with the good guys. He's going to tell us about the good guys. There's good guys and bad guys. What are we, fucking 10 years old, David Wilcock? There's good guys and bad guys.
Greater technology and capability than any of us do here on Earth. And they use it periodically to stop things like this from happening. And that's why it hasn't happened already. That's why we haven't had any other types of massively destructive events already. And therefore, I have been given so many dreams of which the accuracy of my dreams is not disputed. There's plenty of accurate prophecies that my books describe and other.
The accuracy of his prophetic dreams are not disputed. I'm right here disputing them. I'm disputing them. So that's a factually inaccurate statement. I know many people who dispute the accuracy of your prophetic, so-called prophetic dreams. Your prophetic dreams are bullshit. I can't believe he just said that. The accuracy of my prophetic dreams are not in dispute. Yes, they are. Now he's going to go out on a limb and talk about his dreams and how he must be right because the accuracy of his dreams aren't in dispute. Only in his own imagination are the accuracy of his fake prophetic dreams not in dispute. Everyone with a brain that can think for themselves would dispute your fake dreams. And just because you dream something doesn't mean it's a prophetic dream.
Other sites, my own website, other things that I've documented these prophecies before. It's nothing new. I had a whole article called Bouncing Back from Hack Attack that I wrote at one point, which actually had dreams in it that totally predicted Fukushima before it happened. No question whatsoever.
Yeah, I know the Fukushima story.
Yep.
I wrote about it. The one thing that quickly,
So why doesn't he pull out the text where he predicted Fukushima and show us that he really did that?
never saw 9/11 in the boxes of knowledge.
Right.
I never saw it. What's
Don't
happening?
say it, just say the 9 incident.
Okay, that incident.
Yeah, here we go again. Don't say anything that might get us banned, Danny Brinkley.
I never saw it. And what's happening now? I've already seen this.
Right.
Okay, that's why I have such confidence in what we're talking about in people getting this information.
So here we have two guys that are both claiming that they've seen this before. David Wilcock's dreamed about it, and Danny Brinkley died, and angels told him about this, what's happening right now. This is the flimsiness of both of their, proof, so-called proof. Danny Brinkley's proof is that he died, and angels told him this. And David Wilcock's proof is that he dreamed it, and the accuracy of his prophetic dreams are not in dispute. Yes, they are. You both are full of shit people. You both are so full of shit. And two full of shit people talking about the same thing doesn't make that thing any more true. But in these guys' minds, it does, because they both agree on their bullshit.
I've already seen this. I've always said the battle for the souls of humankind would be fought over healthcare. We have a V that is controlling our economic pattern, our healthcare, and now a possible injection that reconstructs our DNA. And I think that becomes very, very important when we look at how our healthcare is being determined in the course of all these other things that are occurring. So I think that that's important.
Well, you got to keep talking because
I can do it. I have no problems because watch, if we're looking at our healthcare, and we're looking at that, it is what's determining so much of what we're controlling or how we're controlling our world, then I need to keep that in people's thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you take better care of yourself when they're taking down every possible site? They're taking down every way to take care of ourselves. They're attacking homeopathy.
And we just proved that that was not an accurate statement. There is healthy eating forums all over the internet, Daniel, if you know how to use Google. You're an old dude. Maybe you don't know how to use Google. I don't know what to tell you. That's not an accurate statement. And as far as the homeopathic remedies, sure, those got taken down because a lot of people were selling people snake oil, unproven treatments for specific ailments. And you can't do that legally in the United States anymore.
Homeopathy, which I think is becoming so important in what we're doing.
And what were the two groups that Stalin locked up in the camps? It was religious fundamentalists and scientists.
Mm-hmm.
And so scientists thought, oh, well, we have, there's no corruption, there's no conspiracy. Well, now as a scientist, if you talk about the wrong stuff, guess what? Now you're in the ghetto with Danny and me.
Yeah,
You got to come on the Dave and Dan show because they're not going to bring you on NBC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in the ghetto while he's living a millionaire's lifestyle in $1 million house with a big fucking gold dick next to him. Yeah, you're in the ghetto, bro. I'll take you to the ghetto where I grew up. You don't know shit about the ghetto, and for that to even come out of your fake fucking teeth is ridiculous. You grew up as spoiled rich boy. You've never even been in a ghetto, I bet.
And think of this. There was a video about when BG talked about a vaccine that reduced the fundamentalist evangelicals.
Oh, that's Bill. Okay, I got it now. BG.
Okay, BG.
Okay,
And he was teaching the CIA, the C's and the FBs or whatever it is.
Oh, we got it.
He was teaching them how by injecting this enzyme, it neutralized their intensity in their fundamental religious point of view. And if you put it in
that.
Yeah, where are they going?
terrorist, it reduces their radical place.
Okay, but wait a minute. First of all, you said the T word. Second of all, I did watch that, and it looks like it was fake. It's somebody impersonating his voice, and the video of the guy talking is actually not BG. So I hate to burst your bubble on that one, but in real...
Oh, wow. David Wilcock's actually going to fact check his partner in slime for sharing fake information. Maybe Dan needs to start fact checking you, David Wilcock, for sharing fake information.
Real time, we cannot allow people to debunk us.
No, thank you. But
yeah.
You can't allow people to debunk you. I've been debunking you for 3 shows now. It's easy. My 4-year-old could do it, David Wilcock.
So there's so much disinformation out there. We always have to be careful. And I did see that one, and it was disproven. So that can happen sometimes.
no,
But
I'm just saying.
I absolutely believe that they do want to do that and that they have done that research, even though that particular thing was allegedly a hoax. Absolutely.
I have no doubt that they're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the agenda. And so, and now just look at the list of criteria of the things that apparently you can't talk about or your whole channel is going to be destroyed. Honestly, I don't even care anymore because I'm going to get it back.
If he doesn't care, why is he busting Daniel's balls every time he says a key word that he thinks that the algorithm might find fault with? Of course he cares. Or he would just let everybody talk.
Back in 2 months anyway, according to the briefings I'm getting. So
this is, again, he's constantly talking about getting briefings. Who in their right fucking mind that's a credible person like a general or an intelligence officer or even a police officer would talk to this clown? Nobody is giving him briefings. He's getting briefings from his imaginary alien friends in his own mind. He doesn't get briefings. You're not getting briefings. Show us who's giving you the briefings. I've challenged him time and time again. Every time he opens his mouth and says, in the latest briefing I got, show us who gave you the briefing. This is just a plot device for him to throw bullshit out there. He says he gets briefings, and then he throws a bunch of bullshit out. And he attributes it to the people giving the briefings that don't exist.
I'm done worrying about it. I'm done. Look, this is so insane. What cost is my channel if it's our freedom and it's the future of this country and the future of the planet and living safely without being destroyed here?
David Wilcock just said that his channel is the future of our country and our freedom. Your channel is responsible for selling people bullshit that is not factual, not real, and fake. It has nothing to do with our future or our freedom. It has to do with your future living in that $1 million house and paying a, I don't know, $6,000, $7,000, or $8,000 monthly mortgage payment collected from stupid people who believe that anything you say has any value. That's the future of your channel. Paying for your millionaire's lifestyle.
I'm sitting right here with you.
Right.
Based on just that.
Now is not the time, folks, to be afraid and
No.
to be quiet and, oh, they're going to kill me off on the internet. Well, yes, they killed.
Don't be afraid and don't be quiet, but censor every word that you can that the algorithm might find fault with. He's talking out of both sides of his mouth through his fake fucking teeth.
Off your businesses out there, and now they've dumped you into a cyber arena. Now they're trying to kill you off in the cyber arena. But look.
And they're killing you all physically.
We don't know how this is going to play out. We don't know if the military will ever engage at all. It may not. That may not be necessary. The
He just said he predicted all of this in his books. Now he's saying he doesn't know if any of this is going to happen. Which is it?
whole thing could happen through strictly legal process with U.S. Marshals doing arrests because everybody wants it done, and it doesn't involve anything other than that. Okay, that could happen. There's lots of different ways this could happen. Nobody knows anything. So if anybody tells you they know what's going on right now, they don't. There's even plans, possibility, that they have talked about the possibility of actually allowing this thing to happen, JB, to actually get inaugurated and not to actually deal with it until after that takes place. That's been looked at. It doesn't mean they're going to do it, but they've looked at it. They're looking at everything. Okay. But all of this stuff I've been telling you about for so long with the mass arrests, folks, if you don't get it, you don't get.
Again, with the mass arrests, this guy admitted himself that since 2006, he's been promising mass arrests. I believe that he's been promising mass arrests since 1998. Anytime that he thinks he could bring up where there's going to be mass arrests. So what? Biden's going to get inaugurated. Then they're going to investigate investigate him, and then there'll be mass arrests. Come on, David Wilcock, with the mass arrest riff that you've been running for fucking 14 years at least. I think for 20. Okay, mass arrests again. Another talking point. You've been promising mass arrests by your own admission since at least 2006, and it's never happened. It's never gonna happen.
What I'm saying, if you can't see, if your eyes are blinded by fear and by PTSD, you can't see the troops, you can't see the ships on our shores, you can't see the massive movements of planes, tanks, land vehicles, weaponry,
soldiers,
troops.
Yeah, and those things move all the time. It doesn't mean anything.
And they're being positioned in all different places that we know nothing about. And they're getting ready to do certain jobs that you can probably surmise what those jobs are. Okay.
Yeah, and troop movements are one of the things that even the press is not technically, I don't know that they're not allowed, but there's sort of an unwritten rule among journalists that you don't report on troop movements because it could endanger the lives of soldiers, especially during a wartime situation.
Okay.
It's not that we can't know about the troop movements. It's that journalists generally shy away because during Vietnam, they were reporting some of the troop movements, and that caused people to die because the enemy would monitor those news broadcasts and figure out where the troops were moving. Since then, most journalists agree they don't report on troop movements.
Now is the time to make sure that you've got basic stuff. We do not profit off of your fear. We do not sell you survival supplies at all. There's no money coming in from me telling you this, but please.
He's getting super chat donations the entire time that he's talking on this live stream. He's getting YouTube ad revenue. He's hawking his books. And he just said there's no money coming in for me telling you this. He just lied through his fake fucking teeth. He's getting super chat donations right as he's telling you he's not getting any money for telling you this stuff. You just lied through your fake fucking teeth again, David Wilcock. How many times do I have to catch you lying through your fake fucking teeth? And again, he's got a problem. He's got a problem that subconsciously in his mind, he knows he's stealing money from people for this bullshit, and it bothers him. So a psychological defense might be him going, I'm not getting any money for telling you this. We care about it. No, you're getting money during this entire live stream. So anybody can go through your live chat and count up the super chat donations that you're taking through the whole broadcast. You are getting money for telling people this stuff. And it's all fake.
If you haven't already done it, get your rice, get your beans, get as many 5-gallon jugs of stored water as you can. Get your toilet.
Now he's a survival expert too.
Paper.
The guy who bought himself $1 million log cabin. $1 million log cabin. The guy who bought $1 million log cabin is going to give you survival advice. Great, David Wilcock. I'm going to go to the store tomorrow and buy everything you suggest because, I don't know. I'm just a guy that built a whole cabin out in the woods out of trees and trash, right? But You're the survival expert, the guy who bought $1 million log cabin.
Get your Kleenex tissues, get your feminine hygiene. If you haven't already done it, please go to the store.
Why is he so concerned with people having feminine hygiene products and Kleenex?
And get that.
Or look at survival food packets for a month or two. I mean, you can buy the kits. You're just so right, because David, I heard a conversation among friends of mine about if he is elected and if JB's put in office, then to be able to expose all of them, like you said, the DSers, if you put them in office, that makes, no matter what you do, him the target of the media, and you can only repress it so much. And it might be just what was necessary. And I heard this from a pretty reliable DC source.
And he won't name the source. The source will remain anonymous, but he's going to throw this bullshit out there anyway.
That would expose so much faster and you have impeachment, the diabolical nature, and they said it depended on holding the Senate in Georgia.
Well, and it's very obvious the DS plan, because now it's in the MSM, is let's take this guy, let's knock him off for the reasons that are already out there with the laptop, with the other things, tax fraud, right? And then you got Obama's third term. It's just that it's proxied. It's proxied through Harris. Okay,
and that's the truth.
That's what they're trying to do, folks. That's all this has ever been about. It's the third term, okay? And that's not a good idea. That's not anything that we want, because
Biden getting a third. I'm sorry, Obama getting a third term. I didn't see his name on the ballot. So this is just more bullshit and speculation.
Our country's been sold out. There are deals. These people do not think the way that you would think, and they have a whole different set of values and a whole different set of goals and a whole different set of operating principles that would be horrifying if you knew what was really going on. And I think we're going to find out. So the DS plan appears to be, oh, yeah, that was all JB. Let's get rid of him. And now you got the woman president you always wanted. And let's just, none of that other stuff matters. If we didn't really do anything bad, the election was all fair and legit, and we just got to get rid of this one guy. That's not true. The fraud is so massive, inescapable, and systemic that it's not like if you take out the lead guy that the backup band gets to play for the whole set.
Again, opinion, speculation, and nonsense. No facts, no evidence, no evidentiary support of anything he's talking about. And this whole theory that Biden's going to die right after he gets inaugurated, or Biden's going to get impeached and then Kamala is going to take over, is a Trumper talking point, a Trump supporter conspiracy theory with no evidence. And by the way, Mr. Love and Light is a huge Trump supporter. That says a lot about Mr. Love and Light.
Like Barack said, there was never a scandal through my entire electoral process. This is one thing.
Ridiculous.
Let me interject this quick,
Sure.
So we get back to our business. This is something that bothers me. Here is Barack, and he comes from Chicago, becomes the president, does everything that he does. And even after he left the presidency, he has never gone back to Chicago as a street organizer or as an organizer. He's never gone back to Chicago to try to bring some kind of sanity and to take the power of him as the president and the ex-president and keep him from shooting children in the head. And
this is ridiculous too, because of course he's been back to Chicago, you dummy. The Obama Library, Presidential Library, is in Chicago, and he's done a lot of things charitable for Chicago. So this is completely and totally factually inaccurate. And again, this is like a Trumper, anti-Obama talking point.
He never talks about it, and he never comes forward with a discussion about it. And I'd like to someday ask him why.
I just adjusted the little ball here. If you see my hand, that's what I'm doing. It would look better if I did it that way. This is live. We're always.
David Wilcock is playing with his balls on his live stream. Playing with his balls on his live stream.
We had Dr. Glenn Ryan here, and
what a joy!
And he started adjusting the crystals during the shoot. It was so funny. It's so funny.
He has a little David in him too.
And it's like everything
Well, that might have been a Freudian slip. He has a little David in him. Ooh.
is neatly aligned now, and I didn't want it that way because you get different reflections based on tilting it funny, and it's just funny because now it's all. I'm so anal, I can't help it.
No, nobody notices
He's anal. Okay.
that, David.
You think?
Apparently not. So, look, we're talking about stuff that is very central to our future, to our security, to our safety, and you have to understand.
And it's all fake. Everything that we're at 1 hour and 56 minutes in. We've covered previous parts of this. We've proven that everything that's come out of his mouth through this 2-hour bullshit fest is all bullshit. We've live fact checked him for some statements and proven that he was factually inaccurate. We've gone to fact checking websites to prove that the conspiracy nonsense that he talked about in one section of this, that 50,000 Chinese troops were invading the United States, was completely and totally a hoax and made up nonsense, right? The Galactic Council, we've proved that that was bullshit, and largely that person was just repeating stuff that came from Laura Eisenhower, that he heard from his granddaughter. Everything that he said for the 2 hours into this is all fake. All of it. It's fake shit. All of it.
Something, okay? KH, the vice president who could become president, okay? KH, I feel very sorry for her.
For not caring if they take his channel down, he's sure being very cautious, trying not to say any words that might flag him with the YouTube algorithms.
If she gets into this position where she is inaugurated, because I honestly can tell you this, the way they get the performance out of you if you're running is they don't let you know what's really going on until you've already done the job, and thinking that you're going to be this hero and thinking that you're going to do good for this country and thinking that you're going to make any decisions on your own or that you have any ability to say anything other than what they want you to say. That is not the case, folks. And when Barry had it, okay, as I said in previous videos, this is the infamous now David was crying for 5 minutes. The reason
you were crying for 5 minutes and it was so fake and it was ridiculous.
Why I was crying is because of the threats they made to Barry's wife and children, what I knew about those threats, how disgusting and horrific they are, and the fact that
He said in one of his streams that George Bush Sr. threatened Barack Obama and called him the N-word, and that's why he cried. Now he's saying they threatened his wife and children, too. And it was during a presidential photo op. When a bunch of former presidents get together with the current president in the White House and they all take a picture together. He said that George Bush Sr. called Barack Obama the N-word and threatened him. That's why he was crying.
Don't die very fast. Okay. And when you really start to learn about this stuff, how difficult would it be for a psychopathic group like Dr. Pete Peterson once told me?
Dr. Pete Peterson, the fake advisor to Ronald Reagan that never was a scientific advisor to Ronald Reagan. We busted Pete Peterson is a complete and total fraud. All of his background is made up. All of his claimed accomplishments were made up. Now he's going to cite a fake source. Great. So let's hear what the fake source told you, David Wilcock. By the way, the now dead fake source. He's been attributing all kinds of stuff to Pete Peterson since he died. You know why? Because nobody could verify any of it. But we can verify that Pete Peterson was a complete and total fraud and his entire background was made up nonsense and none of it was real. But David Wilcock believes Pete Peterson, and now he's going to spew some of Pete Peterson's bullshit or attribute some of his own bullshit to a dead man. Great.
To take the aides of certain congressmen, to abduct them in the middle of the night from their homes, throw them in the back of a van with duct tape over their mouths and blindfolds over their eyes.
Oh my God, this sounds terrible.
Drive them to an undisclosed location where they're then running a chipper shredder machine, a log shredding machine. And they say, you guys ratted us out and you're either gonna put yourself in this machine or we're gonna put you in. And apparently nobody was able to go into the machine. They were actually shoved into the machine. What came out the other side is just spray.
Great. So aides to it was aides to senators? What aides are they throwing in logging chipping machines? Come on.
I honestly can tell you this. The way they get the performance out of you if you're running is they don't let you know what's really going on until
We
you've already
backed it up
done
a
the
little too
job.
much here, but this is
And
important.
thinking that you're going to be this hero and thinking that you're going to do good for this country and thinking that you're going to make any decisions on your own or that you have any ability to say anything other than what they want you to say. That is not the case, folks. And when Barry had it, okay, as I said in the previous
When
video,
Barry had
to
it.
go into the machine, they were.
Okay, wait, we're going to back it up just a little bit here.
And Barry had it, okay, as I said in previous videos, this is the infamous now David was crying for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a publicity stunt of nonsense, you crying. There was no tears. It was so fake and ridiculous. You need better acting classes. Jesus.
The reason why I was crying is because of the threats they made to Barry's wife and children, what I knew about those threats, how disgusting and horrific they are, and the fact that you don't die very fast.
Yeah, let me explain something to this, to David. Come on, David Wilcock. While those threats were made, you claim those threats were made, Barack Obama was the most powerful man in the world, the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military in the world, the boss of all the U.S. intelligence agencies, being protected by Secret Service agents who were sworn to protect his life, who would jump in front of a bullet to save him. He just let people threaten him and his family, and he didn't do anything about it. It's so ridiculous, so implausible, so impossible, but that's what we get from this clown.
Okay, and when you really start to learn about this stuff, how difficult would it be for a psychopathic group like Dr. Pete Peterson once told me to take the aides of certain congressmen, to abduct them in the middle of the night from their homes, throw them in the back of a van with duct tape over their mouths and blindfolds over their eyes, to drive them to an undisclosed location where they're then running a chipper shredder machine, a log shredding machine. And they say, you guys ratted us out, and you're either gonna put yourself in this machine or we're gonna put you in. And apparently nobody was able to go into the machine. They were actually shoved into the machine. What came out the other side is just spray. Okay.
Okay, now this information came from Pete Peterson, the fake science and technology advisor of Ronald Reagan that we proved is completely and totally fake. And Pete Peterson told David Wilcock that congressional aides were taken, abducted in the middle of the night, and they were shown a log chipper machine and told they got to jump in it or we'll put you in it. And then they weren't able to jump in it, so they got put in it. So look, this is so another one. It's just so ridiculous. It's so implausible. Okay. The only congressional aide that we find is Chandra Levy, who was murdered. But that was back in 2002, right? Gee, I don't see any stories about missing congressional aides except for one from 2002 that was a murder, right? I don't see, if there was missing congressional aides, David Wilcock, there would be news stories about missing congressional aides. So you're just lying through your fake fucking teeth again here. That's how easy it is to stop you, fact check you live, and prove that you're lying through your fake fucking teeth here. There's no congressional aides getting thrown into fucking log chipping machines. You ridiculous man.
This actually happened. Other people watched this while they were crying. They go back to their jobs.
This actually happened. Other people watched it. Can we talk to those people? Can we interview the witnesses to this horrific crime of throwing somebody into a log chipper?
These were congressmen that were abducted from their houses, thrown into the back of vans, taken a very hard drive where you're getting banged around. You get head injuries, you get body injuries. Okay. How difficult would it be to do this to 7 people on the Supreme Court? How difficult would that be?
Now they're going to throw the Supreme Court into log chippers. And first he said it was congressional aides. Now he's saying it was congressmen. Well, let's check if there's missing congressmen. I don't know. Look, he could be right. Is there missing congressmen? Well, in Alaska, a congressman disappeared, but that was in 1972, and I doubt it has anything to do with getting thrown into a log chipper. Yeah. No, I don't see any stories about U.S. congressmen getting abducted in the middle of the night and thrown into a log chipper. That must mean that this is bullshit. And again, you're lying through your fake fucking teeth. But we knew that already because it's David Wilcock, and that's what he does. He lies through his fake fucking teeth.
That be? Do you think these people really think there's no case? Or were they compromised? And how difficult? I mean, Danny,
20 states. You have 20 states standing up and saying, hey, please take a look at this.
That's right.
Okay, that is utter betrayal. No matter how much you're compromised, and we already know several are compromised. No matter how much you're compromised.
All right, that's it.
We're
coming up on the part about the Galactic Federation, which we already covered. Check my videos here to see what kind of bullshit he talks about in the next section. We're gonna pass this and go to the meditation portion, right?
But we do have one goddess here. That's Elizabeth.
Yeah, she's a goddess.
All right.
Look at the goddess. The god. You know what? He's got to suck up to her, though, because he's living in her house, right?
So without further ado, I'd like us to get started. And again, this is non-denominational. Please just, even if you don't think this is going to work, I ask you to do this with me now. Just give it.
Now he's going to do, listen, this is the ridiculousness
I'd like
of
you to
David
close your
Wilcock.
eyes.
For 2 hours and 35 minutes, he, let's see, cited a dead fake science and technology advisor to Ronald Reagan saying that congressmen and their aides are getting kidnapped and thrown into log chippers. That's how they keep everybody in line. Let's see. He cited that was one of his sources that was a complete and total fraud of a source, right? During this 2 hours and 35 minutes. He also cited Hal Turner, a known white supremacist, Holocaust-denying, convicted felon, fringe conspiracy theorist who said that 50,000 Chinese troops crossed the border and then we dropped a bunker-busting bomb on them. And then we covered it up saying that it was an earthquake. Nobody saw 50,000 troops, but David Wilcock believes him. He cited that Israeli 87-year-old man who was repeating information that his granddaughter relayed to him that originated with Laura Eisenhower, who's a nutbag, who's been talking about aliens for 20 years with no proof. And now, after selling his entire audience lies and collecting super chat donations for 2 hours and 35 minutes, he's been lying through his fake fucking teeth for 2 hours and 35 minutes. We've proven that. We've got 3 shows proven this entire time that he's been broadcasting. He's been lying through his fake fucking teeth. And now he's going to do a world peace meditation. And somehow that makes lying through his fake fucking teeth and collecting super chat donations to the tune of, I believe, thousands of dollars for 2 hours and 35 minutes. Just do a peace meditation at the end. And then it's okay that you were selling people fake stories from a fucking white supremacist, Holocaust-denying convicted felon, from Pete Peterson, a dead man who lied about winning the Order of Lenin Award, who lied about working for the Russian equivalent of NASA, who never did, who lied about being an early computer pioneer. I grew up with computers. We checked with every computer museum in the world. Nobody's ever heard of Pete Peterson. He lied through his teeth. Every time we fact-checked him with a fact-checking site, all of it came back that it's all fake. Everything he talked about for 2 hours and 35 minutes, all fake shit from fake sources. Fake. This entire time, he's been lying through his fake fucking teeth. Now he's going to do a peace meditation, and that makes all this okay.
And by the way, sweetheart, if you want to use the joystick camera while I'm doing this and pan around the room, that'd be fun.
Listen, why does the camera angle matter if you're doing a peace meditation? What a fucking narcissist he is. Honey, make sure you get the angle right during our peace meditation while there's a big dick symbol right next to my head.
Number 6, I believe. The joystick does work. I'd like you to close both of your eyes. Put both feet flat on the floor.
All right, we're all going to meditate for peace.
Breathe in. Take a nice deep breath.
What? I can't even sit through this. Let's fast forward this shit. Just fuck this guy.
To have who we want in office. We deserve for this process to be fair and transparent.
Oh, it's not a world peace meditation. He's meditating that his chosen candidate, Donald Trump, still gets to be president. Okay.
For this process to be auditable, and we deserve to have the authentic results of the legal votes actually counted and considered.
Yo, Danny's not looking too good. He didn't just die again, did he? His eyes are closed and he's not moving. I don't see him breathing. I'm a little worried that Daniel Brinkley fucking died again. That would be time 5. But don't worry, he'll come back and write a new book.
Ask and we humbly request that you, all of you in the higher realms, protect us now in our hour of greatest darkness and highest need, that you make good on your prophecies from so many ancient religions, that we would get through this safely and intact.
What a
that we would have the revealing of the negative.
Is he praying to angelic beings to disenfranchise millions of voters so that Donald Trump can stay our president? Because that's what he would prefer. Because I think he is, and how very love and light. Let's pray to the angels to disenfranchise millions of voters across the United States so that Donald Trump can stay president.
That we would have the unfolding of true awareness, that truth is no longer sequestered and denied, it is liberated and set free.
He's praying that the truth is set free after he was just caught lying to his fake fucking teeth for 2 hours and 35 minutes collecting money for lies. Now he's going to pray for truth? Why don't you start doing these fucking meditations at the beginning of your broadcast and pray to angels that you fucking tell the truth for once? I'm so tired of you being able to collect money selling people lies. Why don't you fucking put the pray for the fucking truth at the beginning of the broadcast? Before you lie to people for 2 hours and 35 fucking minutes collecting money. Now you're going to pray for truth? Really?
That we can speak without fear of censorship, that we can vote without fear of suppression, that we can serve our country in whatever way
she's got the joystick camera going now.
We choose, without worrying that we are secretly
gotta do the nice
advocating
pan like
for
he
some
wanted.
genocidal cabal of elites. We hereby demand that we have our planet taken back, that we have the right to govern ourselves, that we have the right to make the decisions and the steps, the strategies that are implemented at this time to ensure that we will get...
Poor Elizabeth. She has no idea how to work that fucking camera. Why don't you pay a fucking producer, rich boy, and stop making your fucking wife work for you for free? Well, I don't know. Maybe she's keeping half the money they're collecting here. I don't know if she's working for free, but fuck, man.
Freedom, that we will get disclosure, that we will get forbidden technologies that can totally save our world. And
he has promised that he's going to give us hover cars. We're going to get hover cars. Where's the fucking hover cars, David Wilcock? Was that bullshit too?
Been held from us only for the most meretricious, asinine, and completely insane reasons. We attract the technologies that will eliminate disease. We affirm the power of anti-gravity. We affirm the reality of clean energy. We know that you in the higher realms already have this, that you have given it to us, and that it has been withheld from us even though you intended.
We know that, but he knows it, but he can't show us any proof of it because he's full of shit. He's even full of shit while he's meditating. He's even full of shit while he's praying. That's pretty bad, David Wilcock.
For it to be used by all. We claim our freedom, we claim our power, and we surround in the greatest possible love and support and prayer imaginable all those who serve their country. For where we go one, we go all.
Did he just quote Q? Where we go one, we go all? You're a fucking idiot, David Wilcock. What are you fucking Q people going to do now? Your alliance president got beaten in a fucking regular old election. Nobody wanted him to continue. Where we go one, we go all. You are fucking full of shit.
Amen. Well, that's 454.
That was great.
I did it.
No, and listen, everybody. Thank you so much as this holiday season comes into play. Thank you so much for giving us this time in your life. And stay focused. And as this all...
Do you want them to stay focused on the bullshit that you and your partner in slime here are spewing? Stay focused on what? You just gave people nothing but lies for 2 hours and 35 minutes straight. What the fuck are they supposed to focus on? What liars you two are?
All unfolds, remember, we chose to be here now at this time to make the kind of difference that we're capable of making. And I really appreciate...
What difference are you making in the world broadcasting lies for 2 hours and 35 minutes? You asshole.
What David's...
Again, I don't want to get personally insulting. I apologize for calling you an asshole. You're a human, probably a very flawed human just like me. I apologize, Danny Brinkley. You're not an asshole, but I believe you do asshole things. You are participating in what is essentially a business selling lies here. You're selling people lies, you're helping this guy collect super chat donations, and you've helped him lie for 2 hours and 35 minutes straight.
What David's meditation was about, that we affirm our freedom, our power, and our spiritual nature of ourselves to create our own manifest destiny. And if we don't, unless something big and crazy happens, we probably won't see you again till next year as the Dave and Dan Comedy Hour. But in the next year...
Yeah, it is the Dave and Dan Comedy Hour. You two are fucking hysterical. You just went on a live stream for 2 hours and 35 minutes straight, spouting nothing but lies, factually inaccurate statements, proven hoaxes. It is a comedy hour with you two. At least when I listen, I can fact check everything you said in this 2 hours and 35 minutes and prove there might have been one or two factual statements, but that's only when David Wilcock was doing his circle back prover maneuver shit, where he throws out one factual statement that you can verify, and then he tacked on, in the example we cited here, 5 fake things on top of the one thing that could be verifiably proven true, which was the truth movements.
You will see us many times with our co-captain goddess Elizabeth, and we look forward to it. I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you for giving us your time today.
Yeah, I want my time back because I got nothing of value from you listening to you clowns for 2 hours and 35 minutes. Nobody got anything but of value. It's all lies. It's all fake. None of this is proven to be real or factual or accurate. In fact, all of it, everything these two clowns did for this entire broadcast is easily proven fake.
Elizabeth, you want to say anything? You have to speak loudly, but they will hear you.
Oh, he's letting her talk.
Well, thank you, everybody, for being here, and keep the good faith and good vision. If they can hear that.
Oh, yeah.
They can hear it.
And I want to thank you for watching. Danny and I love to joke around with each other. So if we bust each other's chops, it doesn't mean there's any negativity going on. It's just the way we are all the time, actually. And so we sat down together and made that really hilarious opening sequence. And so if you want to end with that,
please enjoy the love and the laughter in this holiday season. And unless there's a crisis,
love, laughter, and lies. Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
We'll see you in the new year. Love you, everybody.
Hopefully a lot freer at that too.
He's making fun of the fact that he died 4 times. Great. Yeah, great. Oh, wow. Oh, and now it's the Dave and Dan show. But notice that David Wilcock gets his name bigger, right? Boy, somebody must have bought After Effects or some stock video with all those donations, those tax-free donations he's collecting. Why is he whispering "love yourself"? This is Bizarro Land. Are you just
So
gonna
how
loop
you
it?
structure it, man? Yeah. Yes, sir. The Dave and Dan show. Got me a pig. All I need is a little girl.
All right, that's enough of this. I'm checking it out. Look, we covered a great deal of this shit. I can't. I got to take a break from this. If he does a stream tomorrow, I'm going to kill myself. I will fucking blow my brains out if I have to listen to 5 more minutes of either of these fucking lying clowns. I can't do it. I can't do it. Jesus Christ, friends. I don't know what to say, except we've got now 3 shows based on this one live stream proving that's all they do for 2 hours and 35 minutes is lie and regurgitate fake shit, hoaxes, totally disproven stories about World War III, 50,000 Chinese troops invading us any minute. Yeah, it's all fake. It's all lies. And there's no value. David Wilcock has no value to the world. None. All he does is regurgitate nonsense, connect dots that aren't there, run with factually inaccurate fake stories that a child could pick apart, fact check, and prove are fake. That's what he does. And he collects money the whole time. And you know what? I'm sad for a world in which he's allowed to do that. And he's been allowed to do that for 20 years now. It's great. And friends, I have to take a short break. So I'm looking for the phone. I do have it. Okay. So I'm gonna play this call-in line bumper. We're actually going to open the phone lines up. And when I return, we're just going to take a short break, play this call-in line bumper, and then I will dedicate my full and total attention to the live chat. We'll discuss to wrap up this whole shit show. Friends, we made it through. We made it through. I can't take 10 more seconds of this fucking clown, but we made it through. We'll be back in just a moment, and I will dedicate, you have my word, we're going to do another, I don't know how long, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever, discussion with the live chat. We can talk about this. We can talk about anything you like. And I'm going to open the phone lines. Anybody can call in. I will be right back, friends. Yeah. Greetings and salutations, friends. We are back, and we have somebody live on the line already. This is Steven. Who's calling?
Hey, Steven.
Wait, 1 second. 1 second. Let me get you on speaker. Give me 1 second here. I'm having a little bit of a technical issue. 1 second. Okay, this is, yeah, I can hear you. Who are you and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Steven. It's PBR Street Gang from Montana.
Nice to talk to you and connect a voice to the live chat participant.
You bet. Hey, listen, I wanted to call and say Merry Christmas to you and yours. And hey, listen, this David Wilcock, oh man, I can't handle him, but what I can handle is you're playing it and injecting the truth about how much bullshit he's.
Yeah,
He's
I can't believe that he could get away with this, even from a legal perspective. He's collecting money the whole time that he's just spouting stuff that's completely and totally fake, but he's presenting it as real. That's got to be consumer fraud. That's got to be consumer fraud.
I think you're right. And has anybody added up the 2.5 hours with the
No,
super
I
chat?
started and I got sort of sidetracked today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'll take the time. I want to know exactly. I think it's thousands though. A fair and accurate representation would be that he collected thousands during that live stream in free money. And remember, he doesn't pay taxes on that money because, according to him, he's a charity.
He's a pastor of a church.
Well, he's got a 501c3 that he claims is a spiritual foundation. So yeah, he basically started his own religion. Some say to avoid paying taxes.
And let me ask you this: who's this Danny and Brinkley guy?
This is a guy who made a living selling books about dying and coming back to life. And this is his new partner in slime.
Oh man!
According to him, he died 4 times. He died 4 times and he came back.
And he wrote books about it.
Each time he needed to write a book, he died again. But that's not a coincidence.
Oh man! Well, it's pretty entertaining to see you. Just say, hey, listen, Dave Wilcock, everything you're saying is BS. That's pretty entertaining. I watched it now for, I don't know, how long you've been on?
Yeah.
2 hours and 20 minutes, dude.
Yeah. Well, it takes some time. And we had to cut up. This is we had to cut up. We have 3 shows of just that one show they did. Because it takes time to stop and fact check and explain to people why it's horse shit. It's horse shit.
Yeah. It's entertaining, and I get a kick out of it, and I like your cabin, and be well, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Great, thank you. Great to hear from you. You have a good night and a Merry Christmas to you, my friend, and Happy New Year as well.
Thank you.
All right, good night. Bye-bye. That's what we like. I like putting a voice to some of the people in the live chat. So I want a love room. Sounds good. A love room. Yeah, people are bailing out. This is a real late night stream for us. It's 2:38 in the morning, but we still have people in the live chat. Woke don't mean broke. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Is he still selling toilet paper? Somebody told me he stopped because he got a lot of people busting his balls for selling toilet paper. Single toilet paper rolls for $3 in the height of a pandemic when nobody could get toilet paper. He somehow managed to save up the money. I'm at work. Sorry to hear that, Mario. You work late, bro. It's not, what is it, like 1:30 up there right now? I don't know. Yeah, so any comments or questions for me in the live chat? The thought of naked men in the love room is keeping me up. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that David Wilcock is having dreams about naked men, and then he's connecting that to Biden and Al Gore. Maybe he's got a crush on one of those guys and wants to see them naked. I don't know. 12:30. I started an hour ago. Well, that's not too bad. You got to do what you got to do, brother. I hear you. You gotta go. And yes, take me to the love room. Renee Miss Jonaside, has anybody contacted the family of this pilot? No, we may do that. I'm still trying to decide if that would be a good thing to do, but most of me thinks they're probably suffering enough with the loss of their loved one. But then I'm on the fence because I think that they have a right to know that this clown is out there collecting super chat donations, spouting ridiculous conspiracy theory nonsense based on the death of the tragic plane crash death of their loved one. So we may do that. I don't know. I really have a lot to think about. And I mentioned that we were going to live on air request these 990 forms. We ran a little long tonight. We will do that tomorrow. We might just make that a real quick video where I just go live, share my screen, and show everybody that I'm emailing every email that I could find. 1 second. We have another caller. Hi, this is Steven. Who are you and where are you calling from?
Hey.
Hello?
It was fun watching you have a little meltdown.
Oh, this was nothing. I think the last one was worse. Who is this?
I'm Robin.
Oh, Robin. Robin Eaglesall?
No. Robin Wills.
Robin Wills. Okay. Oh, I see you in the live chat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, dude, do you
Yeah.
need to think about your priorities?
Yeah, I haven't. I listened to him a couple of times years ago, and then I just could never listen to him again. But I had to tune in to watch him get torn down. I couldn't miss that.
Well, listen, it's not my intention to tear him down. It's my intention to inform the public that he's collecting money, selling people lies that he presents as factual and real information. And to me, that's consumer fraud.
Yeah, I've seen Cliff High have a meltdown about it too.
Yeah. Well, tonight was pretty sedate. You should watch the previous video that we did on this. I really lost it.
I'll do that. Was that guy that was with him? Was that the Corey guy?
No, that's somebody else. This guy's name is Daniel Brinkley, and his shtick is not that he was a secret space program astronaut. His shtick is that he died and came back to life. And every time he dies, he talks to angels and writes another book. And he's written 4 books, one about each time that he died.
Oh, my God. Wow.
So we're supposed to trust that guy because he died and talked to angels.
And it happens quite often. And he doesn't. What did he die from?
Oh, I don't know. I think once he claimed that he got hit by lightning and died. And then he claimed that he woke up in the morgue, but somebody got to the doctor and the doctor said, no, he didn't. That never happened. He never lost consciousness. So he's another grifter saying he died when the doctor that was taking care of him said, no, he did have some kind of accident. Maybe he got hit by lightning, but he didn't lose consciousness, let alone die. According to him, he flatlined and he woke up in the morgue.
You know what? I think their mothers let them get away with this when they were little kids. So
yeah, I don't know. My mom would have beat my ass. If I ever got caught lying, she beat my ass. Or even if my mom was famous for threatening. She threatened me so many times to wash my mouth out with soap. And I never thought she'd do it, but one day she did. And I never cursed near her again till the day she died. I never even said shit in front of my mother, or I was scared. She took a bar of soap, like Irish Spring. I remember to this day, Irish Spring soap, put it in my mouth, held me, and was like, there's for your trash mouth. Yeah, she didn't take lying or cursing. She was a Christian lady, right?
Okay. Yeah, my parents were much older. I mean, I was born in '62, and like my dad was born in the 19 teens.
Yeah, that was old school.
Yeah, but they were real cool, and down to earth, and they never punished me the same way. And I think the hardest thing one time I did something bad, and my mom bought me this beautiful chest. She took me and to go pick it out in every dresser drawers, and I just felt so bad. I mean, I felt horrible. That one really ate my conscience. But yeah, they weren't big on beating. They never did the usual wash your mouth out with soap. But you know what? They never ever did threats. They said what they meant. And
yeah, I don't know. My dad
just did it.
My dad was old school. He had a belt, like a big leather belt. And one time, me and my brother got the bright idea that we would take his belt and put it in the furnace. But we were kids, and we didn't realize that the belt buckle wouldn't burn. So he caught us. And you know what he did? He went to the store and he bought 5 brand new big leather belts. And he showed them to us. And he goes, "Don't you ever throw one of my belts in the fucking furnace again. You get the belt when you deserve it, and that's it," you know? And we were like, oh, shit. So we never tried that again.
Well, see, you were probably a bad boy, huh? Were you a bad boy?
I was a little bit of a bad boy and a little bit of a class clown. Imagine that.
Yeah. I was a well-behaved girl, so.
I doubt it. Every bad girl says that, right?
Well, I had naughty streaks, but so did my parents, and they weren't emotionally abusive, you know. But you know, I was always an honest kid.
Yeah, and just to be clear, so nobody gets the wrong idea, my father was not like terribly physically abusive. He just would hit us with a belt once, like he was old school.
Yeah.
You'd get a spanking. If you did something really bad, he'd get you with the belt. He'd give you a couple of belt whacks. And boy, like, of course, later in life, I just kind of made peace with it. Like, that's how he was raised by his father, who was even worse. His father was worse. So, you know, that's how they did it back then, you know, when you still could spank children. You can't do that now. You'll get arrested.
You know how my mom stopped temper tantrums? She only had to do it once with me, and she had to do it twice with my brother. But the second either one of us had a temper tantrum was she just walked over and got a glass of water and threw it in our face.
Wow, yeah, see?
And that stops a little kid from having temper tantrums. So,
yeah, sure, that'll stop you. Yeah.
But they were more psychological, and I think they were old enough to know that their body hurt, so they were afraid to do physical stuff.
Yeah, they're afraid to whack you. They could break a hip or
yeah, right. You know, I mean, that's why he wanted my brother to play tennis versus football and stuff like that because of the injuries. Not that you don't get injured in tennis, but and then they were psychological. They were nerdy, you know, so they knew how to psychologically do it to you. I can remember one time getting sent to bed without dinner. But
yeah, my parents did that very, very occasionally. If I was bad, just like, you go to bed, no dinner for you, you know. And boy, I didn't do that again.
And I, you know what? I don't know what happened. There was one day we were jumping in the bushes and we destroyed the bushes, and I kind of blacked out, so I don't know. I can't remember what happened. So it must have been bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know that Daddy felt bad all his life, and when we went to go see the Odd Couple movie, and they had the whole spaghetti incident.
Sure.
He really enjoyed that, and he giggled, and he wanted empathy from me. And what I wasn't remembering was, and Mom thought this was hilarious because it was after he died, that I was like, you know what? I don't even remember that happening. But I'm real ambidextrous and funky, kind of like Jimi Hendrix. I do things weird. And I was, having a hard time learning how to use utensils. Although they never gave me a hard time about which hand to use or anything. Like the schools would always try to force me to be right-handed. But at one time he got frustrated and he dumped a bowl of spaghetti on my head. And he felt bad about it for the rest of his life, but I didn't even remember it. I guess I just thought it was so shocking that I just lost it.
Yeah, I don't know. My parents are both deceased, and I just kind of forgive them for whatever now. Like it is what it is. I know that the older I get, the more, especially with my father, he and I butted heads a lot, but the older I get, the more I realize like he wanted the best for me. He wanted to raise me to be a good, respectful, hardworking person. And to realize the value of things too. He was real cheap, and he made us work for everything. Like, you want a new bike? The neighbor needs his lawn mowed. I'll arrange it. You got a lawnmower? He made us work for everything, but it taught me that you have to work for things, I hated it at the time.
Right. Yeah. I had to do a lot of volunteer work.
Yeah, but see, later you make peace with those things with your parents, if you can, and Yeah. Well,
I when I was young, we used to raise our pets wrong, like how we potty train them was completely wrong with punishment and stuff, and that's not how you do it all. Every time they're puppies, if they play, sleep, eat, you walk them outside.
Yeah, positive reinforcement works better with animals for sure. Yeah, probably children too.
It really does.
Yeah,
we just weren't smart enough back then, to know. And so you do have to. Well, love. Part of love is forgiveness.
Yeah.
It's
Well, listen. Thanks for calling in. We're going to try to get some other people to call in and give some time to the live chat.
Bye.
Thank you for being in our live audience. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks for the meltdown.
All right. Bye-bye. Wow, so Robin Wills and PBR Street Gang, I apologize. I forgot. I'm supposed to do this from now on. I can put a banner up of who's on the phone. I forgot to do it for you. So, next time I will get that. Or I'll just, I'll just say previously on the phone. I apologize for that. I want to make sure that we recognize everybody calling in. There we go. So sorry about that, BBR Street Gang. I'm glad that you could call in and we could get you on the show. Yeah, so any questions or comments for me, please put them in all caps. And we are going to be wrapping things up here. It is now, let's see. Geez, it's 2:43 a.m. And we've gone for almost 2 hours and 40 minutes so far. And now the live chat is spiking up with people. So I guess we'll stick around for a while. Check my DMs on Twitter. Okay, this is probably going to be good. Oh, I have got to share this. Thank you. You made my night. Yeah, we're going to share that because I'm just that kind of an asshole. And so is Mario Heat. Men naked, right? I see nude men. Men naked. Why was he so obsessed with naked men during his dreams, Mario Heat? Does that mean that there's like some sort of repressed homosexuality? I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, but that kind of, or a psychologist, but that a grown man that's married, dreaming about naked men, especially naked presidents like old white dudes. That's kind of gross. I'm trying to think if Mario Heat, I don't believe that I've ever had a dream about a naked man in my life. I'm sure I've had dreams about naked women, but never, never a naked man. Mario Heat, that Shilcock pick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had sexual prophetic dreams too. Yeah. He had sex dreams that were prophetic. Such a fucking. We're going to stop that because I can't stand to look at this clown any longer. But thank you for sharing. I appreciate that very much. And I guess we could do the. I'm going to check something here, so please bear with me, friends. Any questions or comments, put them in the live chat. I'm halfway to fixing some of our technical issues with the building of a new computer, but it's not new. It's just cobbled together from parts from my garage, but it'll be much better than we have had, than the current computer we're using to run the broadcast, and we'll have a second, maybe even a third screen. I've got 2 extra screens. I could do 3 screens, but I'd like to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm just checking in. For those that don't know, we do have a Patreon for supporters. It's as little as $1 a month. And the last 4 patrons that signed up were Mark, Daniel James from The Context and the Warped Podcast, and Jacqueline and Melissa. Those were, so if you become a Patreon supporter, we shout you out live on the show. So if you become a Patreon supporter when we're not live on the show, we shout you out the next show. Or if you are feeling generous and in the giving spirit, you can make a PayPal donation. It's about section of our links. Because if David Wilcock can make money selling lies, we should be able to make money proving that he's selling lies and giving people the truth. I believe that. Every yin must have their yang, right? There must be balance in the world, and I would like to be a part of that balance. He was talking about an oppressive ex-girlfriend on Nuri's show at one time. That's an interesting story. Yeah, I've heard that, or I've heard of that. Oh no, do I have to? Look, we do whatever the audience wants here. And Robin Wills, if you say I need to cover his sexual prophetic dreams, then we'll do that. But I need a break from the David Wilcock bullshit train for a while. I've listened to almost 3 hours of this clown in the past week, and that's quite enough. Please, like I said, if he comes out with another live stream tomorrow and I got to cover it, I may blow my brains out. Yeah. Robin Wills doesn't want to be in his love room. David's secret mantra: all roads in life lead to Wilcox's love room. Yes, it does. God. Look, if you've got something called a love room, it's probably not a good idea to talk about it on a live stream. Hey, I may have a love room. Moody Mongol, Mario Heat, Robin Wills. Maybe I have a pleasure room. Actually, if I had a pleasure room, it would probably be filled with computers because I'm that kind of a dork. Where can I find a forum for healthy foods? Google it. There's hundreds of them. This clown said they took down all the forums for healthy eating. He's such a liar, man. Just Mario Heat, this one's for you. Do you know what David Wilcock does? He lies through his fake fucking teeth. That's what he does, Mario Heat. He lies through his fake fucking teeth. He lied through his fake fucking teeth and said they took down all the healthy eating forums. We did a quick Google search and found 100 of them. We should seriously file for a religion that venerates David Loveroom. then ask him for offerings to our religion. That sounds like a good idea to me. Sliding bookcase, I presume. BS Alert Buddy, it's funny you should mention that. Some of you know I have an autistic child, and he's very destructive sometimes. You leave, you turn your back for 5 minutes, and he gets into stuff. Kind of like a toddler, but he's 8 years old now. Like, we have to lock kitchen cabinets and lock the refrigerator, or he'll go in there and like spill a whole gallon of like iced tea or a 2-liter bottle of soda on the floor. And like, he doesn't mean to be destructive, but he is. And we have this big basement, and it's filled with my stuff, which is a bad idea because there's no separation to the basement. In other words, it's open. Like, he can just go in there from 2 different ways. So I have to close that off. We're putting a door and a door frame in our kitchen. And then I was thinking for the foyer, there's a big opening, that goes from the foyer into this basement area. I'm going to put one of those bookshelves with a secret door in it eventually. It's been on my list of things to do. David Wilcock's love room sounds scary to me. Yeah, I don't know. But listen, we got to get the meme thing going. David Wilcock's love room. And if you do, and Mario Heat, you're slacking, bro. You did a good job with those graphics, right? But you got to tweet that on Twitter and use the hashtag David Wilcock Dildo Seeker on Twitter or Facebook or both. You got to share that artistic brilliance of yours. Oh, BS Alert Buddy, don't worry about that. I've got, I had one for $150. It didn't pan out. Like, my friend sold it out from under me because I didn't have he was like, I'll drop it off to you right now, but I need the money today. And I'm like, my car's at the shop. I could get the money tomorrow morning and be at your house. And he sold it then. So I'm looking for another one. I'm not worried. I've got so many computer friends. I found a bunch of them at varying different prices. We'll see. At the very least, I have the one at the cabin I can bring home and fix up. So I may do that, but I'm not getting back to the cabin for 3 weeks. If we could get a little Pulp Fiction, but these are the risks we must take. Bee Gees is here. Shout out to Bee Gees. Yeah, you did make it, but you made it 2 hours and 49 minutes late. So I'm going to use my favorite joke here. Can I get you anything, Bee Gees? Like a fucking watch, maybe? I love that joke. When I did theater shows, every time somebody would like be walking into the theater late and trying to find their seats in the dark, I would get the spotlight on them and go, hey, folks, thanks for coming. Can I get you anything? Like a fucking watch? Fark. I can't help it but bust your balls. Oh boy, too, man. I gotta find my other sunglasses because these glasses are so heavy that they actually hurt my nose after a while. Not a good show glasses. These are good for like taking a quick picture or something, but not for doing a 3-hour broadcast. Yeah, so interestingly, I think this is going to wrap up our coverage, thank God, of David Wilcock's latest live stream because I can't do 2 more minutes. Wet booty cheeks. Oh, somebody's in the Twitch chat. Nice glasses. Thank you. I appreciate it. I actually am visually impaired. I have a paralyzed eye, so this is why I always wear glasses in case you were not aware. Otherwise, I'd be giving you the evil eye, you guys, halfway through the for most of the live stream. I'd be giving you the evil eye. No problem whatsoever. It's okay. I just like to let people know. Once in a while, somebody says something nasty in the YouTube comments, and then they feel like a dumbass because I could say, I'm visually impaired. I have a paralyzed eye. That's why I wear them. Because somebody else say something like, take the sunglasses off. You're inside with sunglasses on. You look ridiculous. No, it's quite all right. And listen, here's another thing. We have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Truthseekers show. If you like our content, please go over there and become a Twitch follower. We need more people. And Wet Booty Cheeks, please become a follower over there on Twitch. You're already over there. I would really appreciate you following us on Twitch. We need to get, 25 more followers on Twitch to be monetized. And that would be a really good thing. So I talked about the begging bowl. It is what it is. You can donate through Patreon, or I'll put the begging bowl out. We need your financial support to continue the show. You can please do consider a PayPal donation or becoming a Patreon supporter. There's links in the About section. If you want to see our show continue, we'd like to be the second red pill that a lot of people need. We'd like to bring people the truth behind some of these fake truth seekers. We're the real ones here. And you can donate to help us continue our efforts here. Failing that, I understand, that it is rough out there. Brother, can you spare $1? That's why I'm out here on the internet begging for money. But I realize that for some people, even $1 a month or $1 PayPal donation is too much right now. It's Christmas. I've got 2 kids. I get it. And it's rough out there, especially with our current health situation. A lot of people just not working or working reduced hours, or, I get it. But if you want to help our show out, there's another way besides financially that you could really, really help us. And that is to please like, comment, and subscribe, and send our channel address to some friends. It's very important for us to get the engagement so that the show continues to grow with subscribers. Post these videos on your social media. Post them on Facebook. Post them on Instagram. Post them on Twitter. Send the link to our channel address to some friends. Ask them to subscribe. Family, ask them to subscribe. Anybody with a YouTube account, please send them our channel address and ask them to help us out. We are within, I think we need 150 more subscribers to be monetized on YouTube. And boy, would that really help us out to be able to take the super chat donations. Failing that, we do let people send us PayPal donations. So you too can send us some money, you leeches. Make a PayPal donation. We have something called the Not So Super Chat donations. Here's what you do. You send us a PayPal donation and you include your chat room user ID in the note line. If you click donate by PayPal, also click add a note line. Put your chat room user ID, because a lot of people don't do that, and then I just get their real name. And I don't think a lot of people want me to shout their real name out. Most people would prefer that I shout out their chat room user ID. Add the note line. Add the chat room user ID, and then anything you'd like me to shout out, and we will do that just for you. Failing that, like I said, the best way you can help us otherwise is to just like, comment, and subscribe. Share these videos on your social media. That really helps us out. It helps spread the show. It helps new people find us and us get raised in the YouTube algorithms, right? And praise the AI algorithm gods. Please raise us in the search engines. We are now first on the list when people search for truth seekers. And thank God, because for months we were all 3 pages in. So we must be doing something right. And thanks to your kindness and your help and your support, we are slowly rising. Well, we're at the top of the search engines as far as truth seekers. So that is awesome. And we certainly appreciate your help and support by spreading the show, by sending, links to your friends, by posting this stuff on social media. It really does help. That's why every YouTube content creator says like, comment, subscribe, share, because it truly helps. Yes, good to see so many new subs here. What was really depressing, BGs, is we went down for like a week. We went down by 25. I must have pissed some people off, but then we went back up and then some. So I'm good. I feel good about what's been happening here. I feel good about the way things are moving along. Oh yeah, 151 left for super chat action. So we need 151 more people to sub. But then we also need, PBR Street Gang, we also need the watch time up. So here's another way you can help. If you're going to be doing something for a while and you can put a show on and listen to the whole entire thing, especially these 2 or 3 hour, 6 hour stream, the really long ones, that would really help us get our watch time up. Yes. Praise the AI algorithms. Praise them. We worship you, AI algorithm gods. Please find favor in our show and help us succeed. You have our life in your hands. We are lowly humans. You are AI algorithm. Praise the AI algorithms. I do it every time. And is it funny to pray to an AI algorithm god? Not really, when they have, literally they have my show's life in their hands right now. If they find favor in us, we do well. If they don't, we do poorly, right? Oh, mighty Lord algorithms, we offer all the pleasures of David Wilcock's love room for you. All for you, AI algorithms. You can have, we're going to give you David Wilcock's love room. That's weird. Subs are down or stable for most, yet Simon Parks went from 46,000 to 125K in a week. Maybe he's using bot farms and bot views. A lot of people do that. What's the love room, and do I want to know? We were covering David Wilcock's live stream, and he mentioned that he was in his love room, and then he had to explain that's where they pet their dogs, so they call it the love room. Lord, you missed the love room. Yeah, you missed the love room, BGs. You missed David Wilcock talking about his love room. Yeah, David Wilcock talking about his love room. I'd like to see you form a band and do a live stream gig with alien scientists. It will feed the mighty YouTube algorithm. We've talked about it. We just could never get him and Solar Marshall nailed down to do something together. We had a date and everything, and then it was my fault for not following up with those guys. We're going to try it again soon. And I wanted to mention to those people who are maybe interested in signing up for Patreon that one of the things you get for free with the Patreon or included as a benefit is the Mind Hack Project. This is a personal development, personal improvement system. We're getting a lot of great feedback about it. And it includes binaural beats and hypnotic inductions and motivational speaking and lots of things to help improve the quality of your life, to help you reach goals that you may be struggling to reach, to help you be happier, healthier, more focused, more engaged, to help you manifest those dreams into your life that maybe you've had trouble manifesting. I worked harder on this system than probably anything that I have creatively, and I think it's the most powerful, most important audio work that I've ever done. Right now, we're up to 3 hours and 30 minutes of audio files. That includes the binaural beats, that includes the hypnotic inductions, guided meditations, motivational speaking. It is a treasure trove of stuff to help you in various ways, and we're getting amazing feedback. So we do have a bumper here, and I just want to, let me see if I can find the banner for this. Now, of course, I can't find it while I need it. That's terrible. Or maybe I got rid of that. Yeah. Oh, here we go. So the Mind Hack system is free for Patreon supporters. And what that means is I still am adding to the Mind Hack system. We're going to add at least another half hour, maybe a little more. It'll come in as a commercial retail ready product at a little over 4 hours of audio and include a book. The book's not on Patreon yet, and the extra half hour or 45 minutes is not done yet, but as soon as it is, it goes on Patreon. As soon as the written instructional guide and book is done, it goes on Patreon. You guys won't have to buy it if you're a Patreon supporter. It comes as a Patreon benefit. Everything that I do creatively goes on Patreon first before it's made public. so you guys sort of get a backstage pass. The Mind Hack system, I think, can help a lot of people. We're getting great feedback. Individual results may vary, but so far, everybody that's really, digesting it has sent me a lot of positive messages telling me how much they enjoyed it, how much it helped them to focus more, to go after their goals. I'm so excited about this thing, and we have a bumper describing it. Let's take a watch of that.
What if it was possible to learn how to hack or program your own mind? The truth is, your mind has already been programmed and controlled by others for years. But this is how you break free. This is how you learn to program your own mind and finally take control of your destiny. This is how you break that bondage. This is how you learn to hack your own mind and learn to finally be free. Welcome to Mind Hack. The Mind Hack system includes guided meditations, binaural beats for each brain state, motivational speaking, hypnotic inductions, and much, much more. The Mind Hack system puts you back in control. The Mind Hack system helps you reach your goals. The Mind Hack system helps you manifest your dreams into reality. By finally taking control of your own mind, you will learn to focus and take control of your own infinite potential. Welcome to Mind Hack.
And there we have it, free for Patreon supporters. And I'm glad that I could give that to my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate any support that I get from both the Patreon supporters and those that are giving PayPal donations. It really does help me to keep this show moving forward, to keep expanding the show, which we'll be doing shortly with new hardware, new cameras. Well, not new cameras. I've already got the cameras, but I've got to hook up this sort of switch box, and then we're going to have multiple camera angles. We're going to be streaming to more locations, and all of that, all the resources to do that have been provided by the Patreon supporters and you people who have sent PayPal donations. BG says, love the binaural stuff. Yeah, I'm hopeful, BG's, there's going to be a second set of them. So there'll be 2 sets of binaural beats in the completed work. David Wilcock sits in his love room stroking a cat like a Bond villain. Yeah. Spectral International LLC is a limited liability corporation. Yeah. Okay, it is. Nice audio editing there, bud. Yeah, I have very few skills in life, Daniel, but editing video and audio is probably, you're better at. I got to talk to you sometimes. I just there's some things that you do that I go, fuck, I wish I knew how to do that. And usually it involves putting videos at angles, but I think I got it figured out. Like if there's a TV and then you got to angle the video you want to be playing in it, or I don't know if you do that with green screen stock stuff, or someday you and I got to have a talk about that, because you do a better job than me at video. But my thing has always been audio, and for me, video editing came later, but I'm slowly getting better. Binaural sound is cool. There's a game called Hellblade that was all recording in binaural, super immersive. I got to check that out. I love stuff like that. Hellblade, huh? I'm going to Google that before I forget. This way I can check that out after the show. Dark fantasy action adventure game. Sounds good to me. I love stuff like that. Going back to Hugo's Mansion. I'm old school Mario Heat. Oh, but I liked I like this sort of. I like dark fantasy RPGs, and I like, vampire games. Remember Kane? Anytime, man. Good. Love Mario's profile pic. Yeah, he stole it from me. He stole it from me, damn it. Me. Gotta use headphones. Yeah, I have 3D supported headphones. Absolutely. Yeah, water under the bridge. Good to see those guys patching things up. It's not worth it getting upset with each other over. Beefs are easy to erupt. Like, I don't know if people thought there was a beef between me and CW2, but like I was in a very bad mental state one day and did a show anyway, where I was so focused and worried about the YouTube algorithms and getting censored or my channel getting deleted any minute because it just had happened to Jean Claude, and I had heard CW Channer talking about the algorithm doesn't know sarcasm, this or that, and I sort of repeated some things I heard him say. They were on my mind, and then he was in the live chat and said, jokingly, like, "Hey, he's using my talking points. Say my name," and I didn't see him say that or whatever. So people sent me messages like, "Is he pissed off at you?" Or like, "I don't think so. I think we're good." I saw a recent stream of his where he plugged our show. And by the way, somebody asked during that show why I can get away with busting balls and I'm not getting sued, but he is. And, it is what it is. I may eventually, I'm doing what I can to cover myself legally. It's important that I should say that the purpose of my broadcasts is never to cyberstalk, intimidate, threaten, harass, belittle, insult anyone. I'm doing my very best not to be personally insulting, but sometimes I'm human and these people piss me off and I will say something human in anger. If I do that, I apologize. The truth is that, I care about David Wilcock and I want him to do something better with his life than sell people lies for a living. I think that he's certainly intelligent enough to do something better with his life. I don't think that he has very good work ethic, but I pray for him. I pray for him every day. It is what it is, friends. Yeah, I'm going to have a song called The Love Room. I may do that, Moody Mongol. We'll have a song called The Love Room. Oh, God, I hate that word. Sounds moist. The Love Room sounds moist, doesn't it, BGs? Oh, gross. And Mario Heat and CW Channer patched things up in the Love Room. Jesus Christ. No, see, I can't say that because CW Channer says that, and people could start a fake beef between us for me using his terms, right? I gave him credit tonight when I used the term that I don't use the exact term, but he has this riff about, and it's absolutely accurate about how David Wilcock does this thing where he throws out one factual piece of actual, real, verifiable, provable, factual statement, and then he circles back to it and tacks on 10 pieces of bullshit on top of that factual statement that are all completely and totally bullshit. I noticed the same thing, but I didn't come up with a term for it. I do have terms for Kerry Cassidy. Kerry Cassidy has something called the Kerry Cassidy Prover Maneuver, in which she throws out bullshit, and then right after she throws out a huge treasure trove of bullshit, she suddenly says, "Last week I was talking to a high-ranking intelligence officer, never names him, and they told me this and verified what I'm saying is true." That's the Kerry Cassidy Prover Maneuver. But we have David Wilcock with, I think he called it, I'm going to check in with him. I think he calls it the David Wilcock circle back, something to do with that. Oh, that's gross. But I'm going to share it anyway because I'm gross. I can tell you, anyone telling me they're petting their doggy in their love room was not talking about a canine. Oh, that's gross. Get your busy coin before it's too late. Oh God, you gotta let. Yeah, I'm gonna do that and let me steal it, Daniel. Let me steal it and play it, and we'll just laugh at it here, and I'll credit you. That would be awesome. She's got some fucking gems, bro. She's got some gems. I've got a folder full of stuff. I gotta find it. If I can find it, I'll send it to you because I was collecting audio clips and I was going to do something a bit like that on my radio show. Never got to it. I've fallen asleep twice and come back. Damn, Spooky, you're like Danyan. He died and came back 4 times. You fell asleep twice. That's not something that I should be sharing on my screen. That audience members are falling asleep twice during my show, but we are at 3 hours, over 3 hours. So we're gonna. Oh God, Mario, the only dog he performed in the Lover Room is the one David performs on Danyan. Oh, and again, I have to say this. The views expressed by our live chat participants may not necessarily reflect those of Spectral International, its parent company, Truthseekers, the show, or its host, Stephen Cambion. But we allow freedom of speech, and anybody can say anything they want within, reason here. Spectacular. When you die, having done bad deeds, you wake up in David's love room. Listen, this love room is going to be a thing. I'm going to have to clip the love room thing out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Well, friends, it is getting very, very late here, and I got to do some things tomorrow with my children. And if I don't, my wife may murder me. So I got to get some sleep. So we're going to play us out here. 1 second. Now I can't find it. Oh yeah, here I got it. All right, friends. We have to wrap this thing up here. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us, both for tonight's show and for previous shows. I want to welcome you to view or catch the replays of any of the shows you may have missed. I would sincerely appreciate that. We need to get our watch time up here in order to become monetized. And there is now something like 80 shows, 85, I think, Truthseekers shows that we have produced to date, which is amazing. In the short time that we've been running the show, we've been able to do so much more work here than we ever could on a radio show, which was pre-recorded and edited to death and took forever. So I'm thankful for that. I'm also extremely thankful anytime there's an audience, and tonight is no different. We always have an audience here, and I'm always happy when there's an audience. I'm extremely grateful and humbled that you were here to be a part of mine. Until next time, friends, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you, even you, David Wilcock, and you, Daniel Brinkley, and you, Elizabeth Wilcock. I care about each of you, and I want each of you to find a better path than to make a living selling people lies. And that's part of why I do what I do. Good night, friends, and God bless all of you.